Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Make sure my mic is working. Testing, testing. 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. My name is LJ Young, and I am a 100% conscious, 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. For those of you wondering what the heck is the debt matrix, almost the same as the movie, right? Same as the movie, but this is just not the matrix, but the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody believes in credit and debt and believes that if you have a high credit score, you are somehow rich, wealthy, have money, whatever you want to, whatever the thing is that people believe in the debt matrix, right? And I help people out of the debt matrix by exposing what I call the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, yet people keep doing them. What's up, Mark? What's up, Day? I'm on a little earlier, Day. Next Friday, I'm trying to. Day says, yeah, I caught you live at work thinking about my debt-free day next Friday and trying to make an exit plan. You'll know what to do. You know, you don't plan that part. I was just listening to part 1 yesterday. This is part 2. And I'm going to go ahead and finish what I was saying here. So I exposed what I call the glitches in the debt matrix. And the glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet people keep doing them, right? They just keep financing cars. You know what I'm saying? Keep financing cell phones. They just keep doing it, not trusting mathematics. Because if you think about it, and I'm gonna share with you guys that after I share these ideas, everything has an opposite when it comes to money. You know, and I'm gonna show you guys that. You know, you're gonna. This is a channel that's kind of gonna blow your mind on looking at things differently outside the debt matrix. Okay, and I used to think when I first started, I wanted to help everybody, right? You just want to come out and say, hey, man, I found the answer how to become a millionaire. This is what you do, right? It's almost like finding a new religion, but people have to be receptive to hearing such a change. Have been hearing pretty much credit is the way to go all their life. And then here comes along a person that says, nope, that's wrong. And then they're going to be like, what are you talking about? Wrong. No, it's right. So my channel attracts, it has no age limit. It attracts kids in grade school to people my age and older, right? Because all I'm using is mathematics, and math is timeless. Math will be the same 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Nothing will ever change, right? That's why they're attracted. But let's see here. I'm trying to read and talk at the same time like I always do, and it throws me off every single time. But anyway, we're going to get to yesterday. This is part 2 of yesterday because I was trying to get some ideas. Plus, this helps a lot of people here too, to help people understand that they're not alone in this, caught up in this debt game, right? You don't even know you're there, right? So these are going to help. This is going to help others too. So let me 1 second here, you guys. I'm going to share some. I'm going to share. Damn, what did I do with it? I know I took a snapshot of it. Sorry, you guys. 1 second here. Oh, there it is. Okay, I took a few snapshots. That's why. All right. I'm gonna share some of these because I asked the same question in my Facebook group. Hey, what are your biggest fears when it comes to getting out of debt? What's stopping you? What are your biggest tackles? Right. So one of them were. A person says, getting my significant other on board. That's big. That is really, really big, because I can only imagine a married couple boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. One wakes up and the other one doesn't from the debt matrix. That's tough. I can imagine how tough that is. And I've always said that part is tough, right? Another person says money and a lack of it. And people believe when you're in the debt matrix, if this is you, money and a lack of money, you feel like that because you're in debt. Your finances are in the negative. That's why you feel like there's a lack of money, because you never have money. You mathematically do not have money. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Now, if you see that, and don't feel alone. If this is you and you know it will be in the negative, do not feel alone. Okay? All you got to do is when you do that, when you add up and you see that you're in a negative, yes, including student loans, yes, including mortgages, it's all debt. Don't let people in the debt matrix make you believe somehow mortgage debt is okay and school loan debt that's not true. It's debt. Okay. It's not good, bad. It's just debt. Don't let anybody make you believe that. And if it's in a large negative number, all you got to do is you got to see that and believe it and understand that you have no money. That's why you feel like you have a lack of it. Here's another one: recognizing needs versus wants. Some people go into debt because they can't distinguish between the two, right? And this is what I can say to people that have a hard time doing that. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Savings minus debt equals the cost of your slave papers. That's the price. If you want to stop being a slave, that's your price if you want your papers. Once you believe that number, you will have no problem distinguishing between wants and needs. And back up to the previous one real quick. It said, the person says money and the lack of it. Let me tell you something. Money is printed. They just walk into the mint or wherever they print money and push a button and say on, and money starts printing. So it's not a lack of it. That's a myth. Only people in the debt matrix believe that. I remember thinking that as a kid. How could we run out of money if they can just print as much as they wish? Exactly. But you always got somebody saying, oh, that's not true. It would do this and that and this and that and give you some excuse. And some person that tells you that, you got to remember, you always got to consider the source of your information, especially when it comes to money, especially. Another person says breaking old habits. Yeah, I'm sure that's a tough one, because if you've been raised since a kid, since you can remember that credit is the way of life, that's a hard habit to break. It really is, but it is a habit and it's fake. All you got to do is do the math. You can see it makes absolutely no mathematical sense. Math and money are one. If we didn't have math, if math didn't exist, we would not have the ability to count money. I mean, it really is that simple. We would just pick up these mini pieces of paper and just wonder what we do with them because we don't know how to count them. Another person says not having money. Okay, so that's another basically lack of money. This is why, if you feel like this is why I'm telling you guys the answer. This is why, because you're in debt. Once you get out of debt, that feeling no longer exists. Once you get out of debt, you understand there's plenty of money for everybody. There will not be a lack of money because you have real money. Another person says, if I remember back to the debt days, struggling with knowing where to start, how to keep from getting further in debt when a new unexpected expense came up, trying to figure out how to save money and how much to save. Yeah. What's up, Jennifer? Willie? Nicer. And see, these all lead back to being in debt. You know what I'm saying? People don't know where to start. If they're in debt, you don't know where to start to save because you don't know where to start. You're in debt. A lot of people don't even know how much debt they're in. That's why they don't. That's why they feel like that. Another person says mindset. It can be difficult to switch the mindset from money is scarce to money is abundant. If your internal dialogue always says money is scarce, then you're likely to live a life of money scarcity. Yes, that is true. And I'm gonna give you guys why most people think like that. Money, here we go. Money doesn't grow on trees. What do you think I'm made of money? The, let me borrow some money. I mean, it's been ingrained in our life since a child. Even TV shows, you guys don't even pay attention. TV shows program you to thinking money is there's a lack of money. Everybody's struggling. Everybody, no, that's not true. If you choose to struggle, yeah. If you choose to live in the debt matrix, yes. They says you have to believe money is infinite. Time is finite. I always finite. People need to realize they are not stuck. That was one of my biggest hurdles. I was debt free screams for inspiration. I looked at the math. Yeah. That's why Dave Ramsey's debt free screams are so they just stand out. You know why? Because people that reach debt freedom, that's a it's a release of that scream is more like a release of years of debt pressure on your head that you thought was normal and it's not, and you just releasing it all. Trust me. You just it's just it because once you release it, it's never coming back, because I promise you there is no going back once you become debt free, because you'll now see how everything works. And that's why I'm asking you guys what are the biggest holdups from becoming debt free. Good morning, reigning woman. Because those are just mental blocks. Everything has an opposite. And I'm gonna prove it to you guys. That's what's gonna make my program so unique, because I'm gonna show you guys in a simple way how easy it is. Not easy, it's not easy to achieve it, because first you have to believe it. And all you have to do is believe in mathematics, right? That's all you got to do. Just say, hey, okay, I want to be a millionaire. Yeah, okay, just believe in math and you'll be a millionaire. Everything I'm saying I can prove with mathematics. So here for I'm gonna give you a view of things outside the debt matrix so you guys can see how simple things are. When it comes to debt, you got to change your mindset. And remember, everything has an opposite. Everything. Okay. And I'm going to say it really, really simple so you can hear what I mean. Okay. So pay close attention. Only people in credit card debt have credit card debt. I don't have credit card debt. Okay. Here's another one. Only people that have car loans have car loans. I don't have a car loan. Only people with mortgages have mortgages. I don't have a mortgage because I don't have a house. But I do know people that have a house, but with no mortgage. See how simple I'm saying that? I'm just saying it's so simple, right? Look, just you will no longer be part of that nonsense. It's all you got to do is believe it. Don't walk around believing it. Everybody has a car payment. I'm telling you that I don't. I'm not special. I'm just choosing not to have a car payment. I'm choosing not to have credit card debt. I'm choosing it. Nicer says people got to learn how to get back to basics. You know, Nicer, I'm saying this in a way where people can. I see how simple I say it. That's part of the not believing it's that simple is part of the plan. People don't really understand that because you got to think about it in a different. If you think about it in a different way, nicer. This is something you can walk up to a person and prove to them that it is this simple. I can prove it. But people will look at you and think, no way it can be that simple. See what I'm saying? They will. They will say, no way is it that simple to become a millionaire. No way it's that simple. Yes, it is. I can prove it. They say, no way. That's part of the plan, them not believing it. Rainy Woman says, I see your thirst trapping with your smile and arms today while speaking financial and time freedom. No, I'm just showing everybody, the world, how happy I am. Financial freedom. It's just, that's my free smile. That's like, oh my God, I wish I knew this at 20. But that's okay. I'm free now today. I have my slave papers. You know what? You know how I think? I think about it this way. I break down every single thing to financially, everything to something that I can't change. The only thing I cannot change is the tax system, right? I can't get rid of that. But once you get to this far to where the only thing you owe is taxes, you understand how the tax system works. You're like, oh crap, if I do it this way, I guess I will technically never pay taxes again. Yeah, that's true. You just got to get to this point. If you want to see how taxes can help you build wealth, you must be out of debt, else you'll never see it. You'll just continue to go on like everybody in the debt matrix, thinking taxes are the very reason that's keeping them down. It's not true. Now, this is another thing I didn't see. Like when I say only people with mortgages have mortgages. Now, I posted that the other day in my Facebook, and I want you guys to understand something. A lot of people don't even know what that means. A lot of people are like, hey, duh. Yeah, that's right. Duh. Yeah, duh. When people respond like that, I know they don't understand what that means. What I'm saying when I say that, there's people that don't have mortgages. That's what I'm saying. Just the opposite of everything. There's the opposite of everything. Only people with student loans have student loan debt. No, better yet, only people with student loan debt have student loan debt. I don't have student loan debt. Now, another thing I was thinking about too, when you're in the debt matrix, everybody gets caught up in. Now, I want you guys to listen to this one very, very closely, okay? Very closely. And I'm gonna say it slow on purpose. Not that you're slow, not that you can't comprehend. No, I just want you to clearly hear what I'm saying. 30-year mortgages. Who came up with 30 years? Who said that? Why 30 years? 30 years? That means if you bought a house at 20, you wouldn't pay it off until you're 50? That doesn't even make sense. 50 years? And this is why. You know why it takes 30 years to pay off a mortgage? Because you're making the minimum monthly payment for 30 years. That's the minimum payment. That's no different than a credit card. Like would you pay on a credit card for 30 years? That's how long it would take you if you made the minimum payment on a high balance credit card. That's about the same. But for some reason, we've been made to believe it's okay to pay on something for 30 years. And during those 30 years, believe it's a money-making asset. You know how many people in a debt matrix actually believe that? 30 years? That is insane. You know who came up with that? The banks. You know why we don't, and This is outside the debt matrix, okay? You know why you don't the people in the debt matrix don't look at a mortgage payment as like a minimum payment? Because the mortgage payment is big, it's large, it's a large payment. So in their mind, they believe, I mean, it is in their life, a mortgage payment is a big payment. But in a bigger scheme of things, that's the minimum payment. That's the minimum payment. That's why it takes 30 years. I would have never known. You guys, let me tell you something. I would have never known that in a million years when I was living in the debt matrix. I would have never looked at a mortgage payment like that ever. But then again, all I had to do was this. Wait a minute. Only people with mortgages have mortgages. 30 years? And that's only if you don't refinance once. Imagine how many people, and that's, listen, when I say this is not people with subprime mortgages. I'm not even talking about them. Do you know the chances of a person with a subprime mortgage actually owning the home that they're in? That is like slim to none. Randy Woman says, "Oh, the scenery." Yeah, the trees in the back. You see the trees? Randy Woman says, "I'm teasing Linnell because I know you're not thirst trapping. It does help to listen to someone who can show us they're doing and not just talking." Yeah, I do. I do, Randy Woman. I want people to see how happy I am to be able to see and share this stuff with you guys, to get you guys ideas, to pick your brain. And this is part two. So if there's something that's keeping you from getting debt free, some mental block, or it could be mental, it could be physically, I need you guys help. I'm gonna help you understand. I'm gonna help you guys see outside the debt matrix. I want you guys to help you understand that everything has an opposite. And I want you to understand how simple it is. Only people with car payments have car payments. Now, I know that sounds like a duh, but when you look at it and say, wait a minute, you mean I won't be part of that nonsense if I don't have a car payment? Exactly. There's an opposite. Don't have one. You must be debt free to even see what I'm saying. And and to help with people, that to help people understand about, oh man, a budget, I don't want to be embarrassed if I reduce my lifestyle, I don't want to cut back. This is the best way I can share this with you guys. Your savings minus debt equals the cost of your freedom. Savings minus debt, knowing that you're a slave until that debt paid off, you will cut things. You'll stop caring what other people think. You'll stop worrying about what they have. You won't care what kind of car they drive. You won't care the title of their job. You won't care what neighborhood they live in. You won't care what shoes they're wearing. You won't care about any of that stuff because it means absolutely nothing. It'll help you along your journey. See, Willie, I know what you're saying. Willie's like, wow, I never makes sense. I never looked at it that way. Hey, Willie, I've never looked at it like that in a million years. You know why? I was in the debt matrix. Everybody around you, listen, everybody around you, the majority of people around you are in debt. Only people with cell phone payments have cell phone payments. So if you ask everybody in your circle if they have a cell phone payment and they all do, now you know why you do too. See how simple I'm making this sound? I'm making it sound so simple. If everybody in your crew have finance cell phones. Now you know why you also have a finance cell phone, because you guys are in that crew. You're all in the debt matrix. Only people that finance cell phones. Only people that believe in 30-year mortgages have 30-year mortgages. Humble Homestead said, don't forget the HELOC trap, home equity line of credit trap. See what I'm saying? Like, only people with HELOCs have HELOCs. Only people with second mortgages have second mortgages. No, let's put it this way. Only people with first and second mortgages have first and second mortgages. I don't. See, look how simple I'm making this sound, because it is that way. That's what's going to make this, that's what's going to make my program so unique. People are going to look at it in non-belief. They just be like, oh my God, it can't be that easy. But then they have to, this is what they have to do. They have to come back and say, it got to be, because his math is right. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to keep coming around in circles. Man, no way it's that easy. Yes, it is. Just do the opposite of the majority. Yes. You do the opposite of the, if you do everything financially opposite of the majority, you will be rich. It's not really hard to, like, let me look this up. I'm gonna show you guys something. Let me see. For you stock heads. Now, you guys that follow stock, I heard Tesla stock shot up through the roof, went up or something like that. And I'm gonna go look this up. Let me look this up. Okay, it shot up yesterday. I don't 5 days. Let me see where it was at in 5 days. Uh, so 5 days ago it was like $600 or something like that. But anyway, check it out. I guarantee you this, and I'm gonna try my best to explain it to you guys, okay? Because I really want you to understand this. And you can't see something like this when you're in debt. Now, people in the debt matrix believe that if somebody's in the stock market, they are somehow involved in stock market trading or whatever, right? They're somehow smarter than them financially. But again, you always have to consider the source. Now, say like there's a person that's deep in debt, because people in the debt matrix can't see or hear this, okay? And there's somebody out there doing this, okay? A person that's deep in debt, savings minus debt equals how much money they have in real life, right? They're in the negative. So right there tells you that they have no money to invest, zero. Doesn't matter how they feel about it. Doesn't matter what they believe. They're in debt, right? So since they're in debt and they're investing in the stock market, say like they were trying to jump on this Tesla stock, right? Now remember, what if they got in a few days ago before it jumped up? Say like it was at 600, whatever. I'm just making up numbers, but it shot up, right? And they invest. Now, to invest into the Tesla stock, they're in the negative. So they literally have to borrow the money. This is what math says. Math says they have to borrow the money to invest in the Tesla stock. This same person will invest and say like they got in a Tesla at $300, whatever, right? And it shot up to 7, right? This person will be like, oh my God, I invested in Tesla stock, man. I just earned, $1,000 because I bought X amount of stock. That person really believes that they earned 1,000. They really believe they earned $1,000. That's what they believe. One second. Now, it's mathematically impossible to earn anything on negative dollars. That's impossible. You cannot invest negative dollars. You can't walk up to your to your stockbroker and say, "Hey, man, yeah, I'm ready to invest some money." He's going to say, "How much you got to put in?" Negative $10,000. You can't. He's going to look at you like you're nuts. So if it wasn't his money he's investing, whose money was he investing? He's investing the bank's money and doesn't even know it. See what I'm saying? Now, if 85% of Americans are in debt, what's the percentage of those people you believe are investing in the stock market? I mean, it got to be a large percentage of them investing with money that they don't even have and don't even know it. Everything I'm saying, I can prove with mathematics. I'm telling you guys, I can prove it. How come they don't know this? It's all part of the plan. It's mindset, people. It's pure mindset. People can believe whatever they want to believe. People come over my channel. I'm sure they say he's full of crap, whatever. But then when they leave, check it out. SMD family, when they leave the room saying, but his math is right. His math is right. Can you imagine how many people out there with subprime mortgages that believe their home is an asset? Can you count how many people that is? So this is all you got to do. Run Google and say percentage of, I don't know, how many people have FHA mortgages. I don't know. It doesn't matter. VA loans, FHA, whatever, all the subprime mortgages. Imagine how many of those people believe that their home is an asset. How many people get second mortgages totally forgetting why they needed the first? I'm going to say that one more time. How many people you hear every day talking about having first and second mortgages, getting a second mortgage, totally forgetting why they needed the first? This is what I want you guys to understand and see. It doesn't matter what people say. It's what they can show you. How do you do that? You ask to see their personal credit report. I'm giving you guys some gems today. I'm giving you guys some gems. Whenever you go to get some kind of business loan or some kind of something to do with money, notice how all the businesses run your credit report. Why do you think they do that? You think they're just looking at your credit score? No, they're seeing how much debt you're in. Credit scores are just indicators. They're indicators if this person pays back the bank's money on time or they don't. That's it. Nothing more than that. It's nothing more than that. It's just credit scores are indicators to tell if a person pays back the bank's money on time. If you pay back the bank's money on time, they reward you with a higher score. They say, "Hey, you get more points." If you don't, they take away points. That's it. Look at the credit bureaus as the Mr. Smiths inside of the Matrix, the movie The Matrix. Credit reports, credit bureaus are the Mr. Smiths inside the debt matrix. They penalize you if you don't follow the rules. If you pay off a credit card and close it, they lower your credit score. People are scared to do that. They're like, "Hey, I'm not going to ever pay off my credit card or pay it off because it'll lower my score." That's exactly what Mr. Smith wanted you to do. Stay in debt. He scared you. If you do that, I'm going to drop your credit score. That's Mr. Smith. And people fall for it. "Ooh, my God, I don't want that." They don't know that it mathematically makes sense to do that. They bypass that. Mr. Smith scares them so much to not pay attention to the mathematics. You better not look at that calculator. Humble Homestead says, "You're literally and simply telling telling people to leave the plantation and experience freedom from financial and mental misery. Yeah, literally. Humble homestead. But I want you to understand something too. The majority of people in the debt matrix, they can't hear what I'm saying. I mean, I know it sounds nuts. I know it sounds crazy, but I can literally walk out into the street and just say these things out in the open, and none of them will hear me. That's what's crazy. They won't even hear me. Hey, only people with mortgages have mortgages. They'll be like, what? Only people with student loan debt have student loan debt. They'll be like, duh, yeah. See what I'm saying? What do you mean, duh, yeah? What are you talking about? I don't. So everybody doesn't. Only people with student loan debt have student loan debt. Humble Homestead says, thank you. Nicer. People are growing gray hairs and having heart attacks because they just can't get ahead no matter how much money they make. And I remember being that way, Nicer. I remember being just like that. I was that person. I could not figure out why I could not get ahead. And I was making $160,000 a year. I was making $160,000 a year, living paycheck to paycheck. Now, number one, people would listen to me and hear me say that and be like, ooh, wee, oh my God, because you've been programmed to believe 6 digits is a lot of money, which is not. It's just money. And don't even look at it as a lot of money, because the amount of money a person makes in this equation doesn't even matter. Millionaires are living paycheck to paycheck, so don't get caught up on the money. And Nicer's right. People are literally having heart attacks over the stress of money. Listen. I'm gonna say something, and please listen to the simplicity of it. Okay. When you hear money doesn't grow on trees, I want you to say, yes, it does. It's wood. Paper's made from wood. It does grow on trees. It comes from trees. So stop saying that, people in the debt matrix. Money's scarce. It's not that much out there. No, they're not. They're printing it every day. They just push a button and say print. Yes, it is. There's plenty. It's endless. They can print as much as they want. Oh man, it doesn't work. Okay, well, that's enough I'm telling you about. Humble Homestead says, I know they tell me I'm crazy. No, they just don't hear you. It doesn't, you don't even, I don't even, Humble Homestead, I don't even hear people in debt anymore. I don't even hear them. You see how openly I'm talking? I'm gonna tell you something, Humble. I had to work my way up to even be able to talk to you guys like this, because I was worried about what people in the debt matrix would think. I know hey, he sounds stupid, he sounds crazy, but the only thing that got me over that worry of being talked negatively about, mathematics. Because everything I can say, I can prove. That's what made me that's what helped me get over that, them saying I'm crazy. I'm crazy because what? I believe in mathematics? You sound crazy. If you think about it this way, Humble Homestead, they sound crazy and you can say it to them. You sound crazy because you don't believe in mathematics. So you're the crazy one. If they say, what do you mean? You say, here, pull out your calculator. I'll show you. Nice. It says facts, LJ. The anxiety is real. Yeah, it's real. People in debt, they have anxiety about when their next paycheck and how they're going to do this and that. They don't realize debt is causing that. Only people that have title loans have title loans. Only people that have installment loans have online installment loans. So when you hear that big number of online installment loans in the billions, that's a lot of people that have installment loans. I don't. I would never touch that in a million years. Only people in debt and don't know about money would ever get an online installment loan, ever. Fast cash, quick cash, all these names that make it sound like it's so fast. No, the long-term effects. There's long-term effects to fast cash. Get you caught up in a loop, or you are done. Josh 2003 says, I was like that in my last job. What do you mean, Josh? Like what? Rainy Woman says, true. This is why I always tell you guys, I am unlike any other YouTube finance channel on YouTube. I'm unlike any other. I can prove everything I'm saying. Hold on for 1 second here. Man, what's up, Cosmic Wisdom? Yeah, I just come up and whenever the things come to me, I wanted to continue on with this part two of getting these. I want to, I want to get, I want to hear about these barriers that people, these mental blocks that they have, thinking something's preventing them from becoming whatever, a millionaire, billionaire, whatever. And I know a lot of people out there, you hear about millionaires and billionaires, and sometimes and this was me. I remember thinking about that, but deep down I didn't think I could really achieve becoming a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? You want to be, but you just think, how is that going to be possible? And the reason why I couldn't see the possibility, because I didn't know where to start. I didn't realize I had to first know how to count to a million. I had to first learn how to count to a million. Doesn't that sound crazy? And I know people are listening like, what are you talking about, LJ? Count to a million. That's easy. 1, 2, 3. No, 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 no. Stop. If this is you and you were saying that, I want you to stop right there. Stop. Add up all your savings and add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the number where you start from. That's where you start. Now, if you don't know, and this is going to be hard to grasp, but it's okay. If you don't know how much debt you're in, you don't even know where to start to count to a million. How are you going to count $1 million and you don't even know where to start? If you don't know how much debt you're in, you don't know where to start to count to a million. So it's going to be impossible. That's why I couldn't see it, because I didn't know how much debt I was in. I didn't even know. How am I count to a million and I don't even know where to start? So that's what I did. I said savings minus debt equals the number where I start from. So I said, I'm deep in the negative. I got to get that number to 0. And then I can go 0, 1, 2, 3, then all the way up to a million. Now I can count there. That's why I can see it. Nicer says, I was talking with my nieces and nephew last night about how big debt is in this country, and they know trillions, is a very large amount of money. Yeah. But you know what else is programmed in the people in the debt matrix? When they hear that large number, this is the first thing people in the debt matrix say, oh, Well, my debt's nowhere near that. My student loans are only this. My debt is only that. So they think when they hear the trillions, they compare themselves to $1 trillion, not understanding they're part of the bigger puzzle. Everybody in the debt matrix says that. Oh, that's not me. My number of debt doesn't even come close to $1 trillion. You do collectively. See what I'm saying? It's all part of the plan. It's all psychological. I'm just pointing these things out so you guys can hear that these fears that you have deep inside, that's collective thinking. You're thinking collectively. You're collectively thinking in debt. You are part. If you have student loan debt, you are part of the $1 trillion nightmare. If you have car loan debt, you are part of the $1 trillion nightmare. That's what you are. But again, everything has an opposite. I keep telling everybody that. So if you have a $30,000 car loan and you're currently part of the $1 trillion nightmare, that's millions of people in that nightmare. You pay your car loan off. You're no longer part of the nightmare, the $1 trillion nightmare, and you're now financially ahead of all those people that are part of the $1 trillion nightmare. And then you will understand when I say only people with car loan debt, have car loan debt. Pay your house off, and you will understand when I say only people with mortgages have mortgages. Pay your student loan debt off. You will understand when I say only people with student loan debt have student loan debt. When you're in a debt matrix, that sounds pretty retarded almost, just crazy. How can I say something so simple and many people don't even know what it means? Jaws 2003 says, I was stressed out on it. My supervisor would do things to make it difficult for me to make up my time. I lost 25% of my annual income behind it for 2 years. Also, I have a lot of debt to handle. Thank you, Jaws 2003, for saying that. And I'm gonna just tell you what that is. And I'm gonna just listen to what I'm saying, okay? Only people in debt work at jobs they hate. I'm gonna say that one more time. Only people in debt work at jobs they hate. Because if you wasn't in debt, you would never work at a job you hate because you don't have to. See what I'm saying? You would never work at a job you hate. I didn't hate my last job. I loved the people I worked with, but it wasn't going anywhere. You'll start to this is what happens when you're debt free and you work at a job, okay? And this is what happened to me. Not that I hated my job. I loved the computer industry, what I did, but it wasn't fulfilling anymore. I was thinking, how is working at this job benefiting me personally? Not just for money, because once I got out of debt, I realized you realize you're at the reason why you're at a job you hate because you're there because you need the money. I promise you, once you're out of debt, you'll never ever let that happen. You will never let a supervisor disrespect you. None of that will happen ever. That will never happen. If you ever work at a job and your supervisor comes out and disrespect you, you would say, "Hey, why are you talking to me like that? Don't talk to me like that." When you're not in debt, you would say that. Because if a boss was cool with saying that out loud to you in front of everybody, they're okay with you responding the same way. Hey, you do this. I'd be like, hey, lower your voice. Don't talk to me like that. I'm just here for a job. This is nothing personal. I don't care what you're mad about, but don't talk to me like that. Your employer, they will know that you're different than the rest of the sheeple. Like I always tell you guys, I only know this because I'm not in debt. I was in the computer industry for like 20 years. IT, tier three, cloud engineer. Okay. And I'm just saying that so the IT people understand the level I was at. Connecting globally, DMZ, all that. Okay. They was taking full advantage of me. You know why they paid for my phone? So they can call me 24 hours a day. That's why they pay for your phone. If you think they're just doing it because they like you, you're wrong. It's a 24-hour leash. I would never allow that again, ever. I would have separate phones. When I signed up for that job, they said, hey, there's an on-call rotation every few months. It lasts a week. I was like, cool, that's what I want. All right. I mean, no, cool. I accept that. All right, cool. They was calling me all the time outside of the rotation, all the time. And you know what? This is a trip right here. This is what, and it just popped in my mind. I remember anytime a severity one came online or came happen, everybody was required to jump on. I don't even know if that was in the documentation that I signed when I signed up for that particular job. Anytime a severity one happened, we were all pretty much always guaranteed to jump online. I should today I would have reread the contract that I signed for this position because you know what that says? Pretty much says we own you anytime, 24 hours a day. If this happens, you better get on. Really? So basically, I better not ever leave my phone somewhere. Even if I'm not on call, I would never allow that again, ever. That would never happen again, ever. Know why I didn't see it? I was in debt. Man, it's just crazy to think back, you guys. You IT guys, and oh, one last thing I want to share with you IT guys that are young. You're coming up into this field. I want you to I'm gonna tell you a couple things besides what I'm telling you now. Do it debt free, so you're never taken advantage of. And if they do want that, and say like they do require something, you're gonna say, okay, cool, we're gonna up my salary. You're not gonna own 24 hours of my life for free. Oh no, we're gonna double my salary. Yeah, yes, that's a double salary. That's a double salary request because that's what you're indirectly asking. This is what I'm saying. You young IT guys coming up, let me this will be paramount for you. Whatever system you decide that software, whatever you're gonna work with, read the boring manuals from top to bottom. Take an hour, read it. I don't care if it's not the area that you're in the particular software. Read it all. Read it all, because I guarantee you this. This is what happened to me one time. I remember I was trying to solve. I worked with a software called VMware. All right, and I remember I was trying to solve a problem that I knew could be resolved, but I just needed somebody to give me some particular answers. Right. I remember going to a VMware conference in California and talking to all the so-called VMware experts and say, hey, man, this is my problem. I'm trying to do this. They all told me, no, you can't do this. You can't do that. You can't do this. And then what I decided to do, instead of just accepting that answer, because I still didn't accept it, I went home and read the boring white papers to it, which nobody hardly does in IT. Hardly nobody reads the white papers. They just go into the job, learn what they've learned from somebody else, not even knowing if this person teaching them really knows all the ins and outs. They might be good at what they do. Maybe there's some things that they didn't to take the time to read that will save them even more time. I went back and read this boring manual and found the answer. What I learned at that moment is this: always read the documentation, always, from top to bottom. And then when I went back and sold these guys the answer, they were like, "Oh, I didn't know that was there." That sent the light off in my head. I was like, "Oh, gotcha, gotcha." Mike says, "How deep were you?" I believe it's around 150, 200, something like that. Some crazy number, some crazy nonsense. But remember, I'm making $160,000 a year. So what I did was I went hardcore. So you can't really. I sacrificed everything. I moved out of my apartment, sold my car, sold all my stuff, moved into a room in my sister's house, and I stayed there for 2 years. It took me 2 years to pay off all my debt. Nicer says, telling my nieces and nephew being part of those who are trillions in debt is like being in the middle of the ocean trying to get back to shore. Yeah. Imagine, imagine being in the Pacific Ocean in a raft, and the raft is your job, and and the ocean is the debt. That's what it's like when you hear job, JOB, just above broke. That's what that means. Your job is the only thing keeping you from sinking into the sea of the ocean of debt. And what pops that raft? A layoff, fired, closed down of business. That's what pops the raft, and there you go. You sink into the ocean of debt. That's what JOB means, just above broke. Now, you get out of debt, the JOB won't mean that anymore. You're just there to make some money. You know what I'm saying? It won't mean just above broke. It'll mean what we've always thought, just a job, whatever, it's just a job. Cosmic Wisdom says, indeed, I have a global role in IT, but I didn't do that on call stuff. But employers can sense desperation and will take advantage. Exactly. Exactly, Cosmic Wisdom. You know this. They can sense it. Hell, they can sense that at the interview. They can sense that at the interview if you're desperate. Because say like say like you go to the interview and then they have this sliding scale of what the pay scale is, and then they say we're going to start you here and it's on the low end of the scale. If you don't say nothing and just accept that, you're in debt. You accept that. If you know your worth, whatever they're trying to start you at, because people that are debt free, they'll say, no, I don't want to start there. No, I'm going to start higher, middle, whatever you feel like you're worth, you'll say that. But if you just accept where they start you at, you're probably in debt. You just need that job. You'll take whatever you can get. And they know that. Mike says, I'm driving to work right now through a storm because I'm in debt, risking my life, y'all. Yep. That's important to recognize too, Mike. Don't look at it as, oh my God, I want you to, for you even saying this, I want you to understand something. By you even saying this right now, that's part of the process. You are recognizing where you're at. All you gotta do is look around to the other people in traffic with you. They believe there's no way out of that. Just look at their faces. Just don't even stare at them. Just kind of just casually look over there. And I guarantee you they all have the faces like, oh man, what can I do? I'm pissed. I can't do anything. Yes, you can get out of debt. Half of them are there because they finance the very thing that's keeping them there in the traffic. Most people in debt have no idea they are in traffic because of the very thing that they're driving in traffic. Don't even realize it. Just look at their expressions like, oh man, there's nothing. You can just see it. There's nothing I can do about it. Because every now and then I get caught up in it when I'm going somewhere. I just like to look at people's faces. They all have that face like, oh my God, this is the worst thing in the world. I can't do anything about it. I wish they do this and that. No, people cut in. When you're debt free, this is what it's like driving in traffic when you're debt free. People come in, cut you off. They're so used to just squeezing. Hey, man, I'll be backing all the way up. You got plenty of room. Go ahead, man. Get on in there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they cut in. Hey, man, you could put your blinker on. I won't speed up and cut you off. I'll just. Oh, you put your blinker on. That's telling me that you want to come in. Then I just step on the brake and let them in. I'm not mad at anybody. They see me just dancing to my music, and it could be 5 o'clock, 4:30 traffic time. I don't care. This is temporary for me. I had an appointment or something caught me up in it, but it's all right because it's not every day. When you get out of debt, you won't worry about how many sick days you have. You won't be using days, 1 or 2 days in vacation out of your vacation to take a extended. Oh, I'm gonna take Monday off, so I'm gonna use a day vacation. You're gonna use your vacation day for one extra day on the weekend. I used to do that all the time. All the time I used to do that. I never once. I always got had jobs that had 2 weeks a year. Let me tell you guys something. I never once took 2 straight weeks of vacation. I never did. Never. I never had it anyway because I always used the days periodically throughout the year. Just, oh man, just the debt mentality. They was taking a lot of my time. Not taking, I was giving it to them. Yep, just over broke. Dave Bourne says, debt became my worst nightmare and my greatest lesson. Mastering how to get out of debt is stressful, but a great learning tool for me. Oh man, Dave, I'm gonna tell you something, man. That getting out of debt taught me so much. Oh man, you guys have. This is why I created this business because I'm gonna put this in a book, a pamphlet. I don't know, some kind of online webinar. I'm building that right now. I have help doing that with me right now. So it's gonna be a place where everybody can come and just so they can skip a lot of the hurdles because there's not going to be really that many people you can ask when you're getting out of debt because the people in the debt matrix won't know why you're doing it. They won't know why you sold your Escalade to get a Honda Accord. They won't know why you got out of that mortgage that was a bad mortgage and got you an apartment. They're going to think you're broke. You must be on meth. You must be smoking crack. They're going to think you're on drugs. They're going to think you're on drugs. Oh, they're going to think you're down on your luck. They're going to think they're even going to think you're in debt. That's gonna that's gonna be that's gonna be the funny part right there. That's gonna be the very funny part. They're gonna think because you're downgrading, they're gonna think you're doing it because you're in debt. Well, you are in debt, but you're getting out of debt. People in debt don't know they're in debt. You see them all the time doing Facebook photos and going here and there. You guys have no idea. What you don't see. This is what you don't see when you behind the Instagram and Facebook and social media photos. Their dad is picking them up from the airport. Dad is driving the car. Dad is welcoming them back home. They have to come back. They have to come back to the plantation. That's where dad is waiting for them. Dad is picking them up at the airport. Hey, what's up? I hope you guys enjoyed your trip. You guys have a fun time. Everybody says, hey, you only live once, so spend like you're crazy, spend like you got money. Yeah, do all that. I ain't going nowhere. Dad has his own room in a house. Dad has his own room in everybody's house that are in the debt or that are in debt in the debt matrix. They says every day I request off. My supervisor asks if I can move it. No, if I could, I'd like her pick the days. I'm going to be sick on my birthday because I know she won't approve the day if I request it. Look at this and just listen what you're saying. Okay. I want you to hear it. You work to earn vacation days, but you still have to ask when you can use those vacation days. Let me say that one more time. You work hours to earn the vacation days. And when you're ready to use them, you must still have permission to use them. Does that make sense to you? Doesn't make sense to me. Now you got to pretend to be sick on your birthday instead of just saying, no, I'm taking my birthday off. That's what I would say. I mean, I probably would have put it in. I mean, there's still rules to the game of work, but my birthday was coming up. I knew it was coming up. I would have probably put in the request 2 months ago. So there's just no that this was popped up on them or they couldn't have time for replacement because the purpose of you requesting, this is the real purpose of you requesting, so they can have a person to fill your spot during that time. That's why. You can't just walk in and say, "Hey, yeah, I'm taking today off and leave." You didn't give them time. So you're following the rules so they can have plenty of time to put a person in there for that day. Jaws 2003 says, "Same here, LJ. I've only taken off 1 week max for vacation. Me too." I think about that today. That is nothing. If you want the real deal, take a year off. Doesn't that sounds unfathomable, doesn't it? Take a year off of not working, not doing anything. Take a year off. A year will change your life. I can teach you how. First, you got to believe it to be true. That's going to be the hard part. I'm on 4. If somebody would have told me while I was in the debt matrix working, "Hey man, you need to take a year off," I would have looked at them like they are crazy. Are you insane? You got to be a millionaire to take a year off. No, you don't. No, you don't. It's a double-edged sword, though. If you ever get a chance to do it, there is no going back once you do it. There is no going back. If you ever get a chance to take 1 year off of work, I mean, not doing any type of work, do whatever you want to do for one entire year, your whole life will change forever. But the only way you can even come close to doing that, you must be debt free. You have to be debt free. Can't do it while you're in debt. That's impossible. If somebody would have told me that, I would have thought they were insane. Nope. Everybody got to do it. Again, I can teach you how. I'm a whole nother level of teaching you guys. I'm telling you guys, and I'm not bragging about this. This is not a. I'm not bragging. I can do it. I can change millions of people's lives easily. That's what I'm going to do. I'm showing you guys. I'm not just talking crap. I'm showing you guys. I do damn near videos damn near every day. If you have a job, you can't do a video every day, anytime during the morning and afternoon. You can't do that. I just do them randomly so you guys can see. It doesn't matter what time I do it. I'm just doing when I feel like doing it. Dave Bourne says, "I have coworkers with over 3 months vacation and they don't take it because of they're in debt. One had a heart attack on the job and had his heart stopped twice. He alive, but debt is still number one concern." Yeah, look at that. Three. You know what? Check this out too. I remember being at work and the job had to force people to take vacation. Use it or lose it. Force a person to leave work. Force them. And you better believe it. Use it or lose it. I guarantee you there's millions of people out there that lose their vacation because they feel like they can't leave work. The only people in debt feel like that. Only people in debt do such things. Day says, "Yes, sad, I know." And she gave us grief for taking the week of Christmas and New Year's off. I can't go through that again this year. It you do what you for now on day, you do what you need to do to get out of debt the fastest. So if this job you need to earn that money the fastest, you do what you need to do. Deal with it. Deal with it. Just and your goal is to get out of debt. That's it. Because I promise you, once you're out of debt, you're going to leave that job. You're going to leave it. You're not going to stay. Cosmic Wisdom says, for you IT folks, a lot of companies will let you leave for a year and you can come back afterwards if you wish. Shit, good luck with that, Cosmic Wisdom. Ain't nobody in a million years gonna let you believe that crap. And I know it's true. Not saying that it's not true, Cosmic Wisdom. I'm saying they simply won't believe you. You talking crazy talk. E-Man says, when I finished paying off my when I finished paying my student loan off, I was thinking about taking a year off. Yeah, if you think you can, I mean, you got to save up some money because if your student loan's paid off, you can't have any money saved up at the moment. You can't. That's mathematically impossible. So you're gonna have to save up some money. And when you say finish paying off, what do you mean 1 or 2 years afterwards, or what do you mean by that? Because again, right now, if you're still paying off your student loan, that means you have no money in savings. Cosmic Wisdom says, my company offers this. I can leave for a year if I want to come. I'm just saying like this, Cosmic Wisdom. How many people that you know of that have done that, including yourself? Hell, if I started a company, I would say it too. I would just hire a whole bunch of people in debt. And I would say, hey man, if you decide to take a year off, it's offered to you. They'll never use it because they're in debt. Well, I'm not saying none, but a dozen compared to how many employees? How many employees work for your company? It's not really, a dozen's not really that many people. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying there's nobody that do it because I would be saying there's nobody else that are financially free or debt free. And that's I know that's not true. I'm not the only one. You are, I am. You know what I'm saying? But I surround myself with like-minded people. Yeah. That's why you know a lot of them because they know they can tell you. You can't tell a person in debt, hey, I'm gonna take a year off. They're gonna be like, oh, this person got money. Maybe they can loan me some of it. You can't tell broke people that you can take a year off of work. You cannot do that. Because broke people in the debt matrix believe if you went and told them that you're financially free and you have no debt, they automatically assume that you have money now to give them. Yeah, still a small number overall. Still a small number. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that they don't. I'm not saying that because if I did it, there's people before me that have done it when I didn't know about it. I know it can be done, but I'm just saying in general. I'm only talking about, and when I talk about these things, Cosme, I'm talking about just the majority of people. Because I remember when I first quit, I quit in 2016, in January of 2016, right? In March of that same year, I went to Hawaii for 2 weeks, Waikiki. People were like, 2 weeks? Who you going with? I said, by myself. By yourself? Yeah, by myself, 2 weeks. Oh my God, that's a lot of money. No, it's not. Day says, I need to beef up my savings. I put everything extra towards the debt and went ham. I will be debt free by next Friday. Only 22.50 left, plus 71 cents daily interest. I am looking for new positions now. Yeah, no, the thing is, you have $1,000 as an emergency fund. That's it. That's the only thing you have to worry about having in savings right now. $1,000. Once your student loan debt is paid off, I promise you, Day, your savings, your money is going to stack so fast, your head's going to spin. Okay. 1,000 in savings is all you need to have right now as an emergency fund. Once this debt is paid off next Friday, the check after that and every check after that is going to stack so fast. And this is what I want you to do, Dave. Don't look for a job right away because this is just a suggestion. Just totally up to you. Okay. Pay off your debt and stack your bread. Stack it. I want you to see how you're going to change at your current job. This will give you practice because don't worry, don't think another job, another boss is not going to be the same way because you got to remember the majority of people are in debt, so they accept things that they believe is normal. It's no longer normal for you. So this is what I want you to do. Stack your bread at your current job, and I want you to see how you're going to change at your current job. You're not going to allow your boss to talk to you like that. When it's time to say, like it's time to take a day off, right? Take the time to go read the rules of about taking days off. I guarantee you there's rules somewhere, some documentation to say, hey, if you do step XYZ, you can have this job, you can have this day off. So you just follow the rules, and then you let your boss know, or your manager know, whoever, right? And then they say, "Oh, I think I might know you, according to this right here in the documentation, that if I give you X amount of days notice, this is the day I get off." I guarantee it. You're going to take the time to look at the rules, because you're not just going to accept. Uh, you know how when people the boss comes in, oh, watch out, you better stay out in front of the boss. He's got a bad day today. You know something must. I don't care what kind of day that person had. Don't bring it to work. If it's that bad, you stay home. Cosmic Wisdom says, I'll probably take a year off when I'm ready to leave, and I'll treat it like a retirement test run. That's a good idea. That's actually a good idea, Cosmic Wisdom, because you're at it. But if you haven't taken a year off, I'm gonna tell you something right now, especially in your position, you're not gonna go back. I know you love what you do, but it's still your time that you're selling. You're still selling your time to the job for a certain price. Once you take a year off and you find out and you see it's totally unlimited, you're probably not going to go back. E-Man says, yes, a year after I pay it off, do some travel. This is my motivation. Yeah, do that, man. Dave says, that's all I have. One good. You're right on track. You're right on track. You're right on track. Dave says, yes, I'm listening. What's up, Mez? Hey, LJ, what's up? What's going on? Dave Bourne says, one thing that is difficult to do is downgrade your lifestyle and minimize your spending while becoming debt free. You know, Dave, it's only that way because when people first do it, they don't have a plan. You know, they hear what they hear on YouTube channels. Hey, you must budget. There's ways to reduce your outgoing and still living the same lifestyle. There's ways to do it. There's ways to do it. Once you get out of debt, once you start getting out of debt, you'll see that you can reduce your lifestyle without being able to tell. The only thing I could say when people say things like that, it's difficult. If you add up all your savings and add up all your debt, and your savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life, if you truly in your heart understand, it's not even a belief, it's a mathematical fact. If you don't pay that debt off, you are a slave. You are slave to everyone in that amount of debt, whoever calculates up to that debt, whatever entity, whatever person, whatever, you're a slave to them until you pay their money back. If you really look at this number and see it to be true, you'll do whatever it takes to get out of debt. You'll do whatever it takes to get out of debt. This is why I'm creating my course. It's going to be so simple. Might be 1 or 2 pages. Hey, follow these steps and you'll be free. 1 or 2 videos showing you how to do whatever. No, it can't be that simple. It is. Is my math right? Yes, then it is. Dave says, LJ, thank you for the advice. I will let my money stack. I mapped out all of my checks over the next few months. I want to leave for the right position, not because I have a difficult boss. I check her. Yeah, you will, man. You're gonna check her big time. I can't explain what I mean by this, but once you get out of debt, you'll know exactly what I mean. One thing that's going to change for you, Dave, you're going to realize it's not money that's the most important thing. It's time. When I say it, it's so obvious. Hey, can you get more time? No. Are we going to die one day? Yes. There's no mistake in that, right? We have been led to believe that it's money that is the most valuable thing. No, it's not. It's time. True wealth is this. True wealth is owning the time in your life. It's not a lot of money. It's owning the time in your life. If you own the time in your life, you have all the time in the world to make as much money as you wish. It's really that simple. It's that simple. Cosmic Wisdom says, even though I'm debt free, I don't spend all my money because I have goals to build my business for passive cash flow. I actually enjoy saving to invest and build businesses. See what I'm saying? People do what they wish. See, that's see that kind of stuff brings joy to Cosmic Wisdom. My whole time is building into this business. What I can see now, nothing stacks money faster than taxes. Nothing stacks money. No real estate, no business. Nothing stacks money faster than taxes. Nothing. Nothing is guaranteed ROI like taxes. Nothing. This is obvious to me. This is obvious. You don't have to worry about people being involved. You don't have to worry about people paying the rent. You don't have to worry about none of that. You just look, where's the tax savings? Oh, okay. If I've invested this, I get to save on this much in taxes. Yes, then that's what I'm investing in right there. A 401k, let me give you guys an example so you understand on a smaller scale that you can do with your job. This is clear to me just with a 401k. Now, people on the outside believe they think the money is made on the investments that the 401k is, the interest that it's earning. No, that's not, no. None of that is guaranteed. None of that. You do something that the majority can't even do, nor can they see. You max out your 401k, you get to take $19,500 off of your annual income. And that's guaranteed every single year. The government says, hey, if you invest in this vehicle, you get to take that same. Not only do you get to put 19.5 in your account, you get to take 19.5 off of your annual income. That's like double dipping. No investment in the world compares to that. Taxes. You will be able to do something that the majority of the people in the United States can't even do. Now, you learn these habits right here while you're in your working life. You take that same attitude into the business life. Oh, yeah, there's plenty of people on the business side of things, all these real estate people and all this, they look like they're making a lot of money, but they're in debt. Who cares? If they have a mortgage on it, it's not theirs. It's not theirs. Who cares if they say it? It doesn't matter what they say. If they have a mortgage on it, it is not theirs. There is no, look, listen to this. If you have a paid off house, if 10 people on your block, there's 10 people on your block and you're the 10th person, and you're the only person on your block that doesn't have a mortgage and 9 other people on your block do, now you times that by millions. That's how financially ahead. Now, put it this way. If you're 10 people on the block and you're the only person on the block that has a paid off house, you are financially ahead of those 9 people on your block. 9 people right there. You're financially ahead of them all. Now you times that by millions of people. And that's just with a paid off house. Paid off house is guaranteed retirement, guaranteed. Dave Bourne says, "Yeah, I was a hard reboot for me, but once I did, it was great." Oh, it's a hard. Oh yeah, it's all part of the plan, Dave. You guys, I want you guys to understand something. I don't live in the debt matrix. Okay, anything to do with money, it has to make mathematical sense to me, or else I don't even hear it. When people tell me about real estate deals, but they have a mortgage, I only hear halfway. I only hear partial. Anything with the banks on it, a bank's name on it with your name, I don't care what you say. I don't even listen. It counts on how you're talking, of course. It's different on the business side. Don't get me wrong. It's different on the business side. Okay, that's very different. I'm not talking about business debt. Make sure you guys understand this. When I talk about debt, if I talk about it I know I don't say don't mix your feelings with your money, but I'm not talking about business debt. I'm only talking about personal debt. Willie says, facts time. Mez says, my girl wants to get married, but I say our relationship is good without marriage. Should I make her sign a prenup? I own the home we live in. Deed is in my name, but she contributes to the mortgage. Is she in debt? Because if you're asking me this question, should you sign a prenup? I think you're already telling yourself something already without even knowing it. Because what you're saying to me is that she sounds like she's in debt. If she's in debt, you can answer that own question, your own question right there. You can answer it. Something is hesitating you to put some things in place because something's not right what she does with money or something's there, Mez, and you're saying it in a statement. Dave Bourne says, that's interesting. Never heard that. Taxes. Yes, taxes. You know why you can't know why the majority can't see it, Dave? Because they're in debt. In order to see what I'm talking about with taxes, you can't be in debt. It's called phantom income. Any tax evasion is illegal. Tax evasion is illegal. Tax avoidance is legal. Okay. Any taxes you don't pay that the majority does pay is money in your pocket. That's called phantom income, and it's real. And that goes with just more than taxes. Okay. I always say it this way so you can kind of understand what I mean, Dave. Say like the average card note is $500. Okay. Now listen closely to how I say it because I want you to put it together. Say like the average car payment is $500 per month. When they say the average is made up of millions upon millions upon millions of people that make the same financial decisions as one. Okay. 5,000 times 12, which I'm talking about is a year, equals $6,000 in 1 year, 12 months. If you don't have a car payment, you are now you now earn $6,000 more per year than the average. That's called phantom income. Now you do that with credit cards, you do that with mortgages, you do that with student loans. See how quickly that all adds up? That's why life is really not that expensive. And that's the phantom income. Now the income that you earn and that you can see, interest payments. People are paying interest on student loans, mortgages. Now this is a combination, okay? Listen to this combination. People are paying student loans, interest on student loans, interest on car payment, interest on credit card payments, interest on whatever payments. That's all interest that you're not paying. You're not even paying that. That all counts as phantom income. Cosmic Wisdom said, "Why are you talking about us real estate people like that?" I'm not talking. Hey, again, that's why I pointed out the business side of things. I'm all for business side debt. I'm talking about Cosmic Wisdom. You know good and well there's some real estate people out there doing it all wrong. You know it. And I know you hear it. Dave says most people will tell you home ownership. Oh yeah. People with subprime mortgages think they're homeowners. First of all, listen. No mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner, not even the best one on earth. I'm going to say that one more time so you can get it. No mortgage in the world makes anybody a homeowner, not even the best mortgage on earth. Now, if the best one doesn't make a homeowner, you really believe a subprime mortgage? People with subprime mortgages believe they're homeowners. How did the banks get that? How did the banks make people believe that? I have no idea. That's years of evolution. That's years of training. Years. They said, isn't business debt tied to an individual? Like if they have a business loan, it's under the business owner name. It's different. It's like when you put it under a LLC, or those are companies. You put it under it's out of your name under the business name. So if you put something under the business name, if the business sued, the business is sued, not you. It's different, Dave. Once you get out of debt, you'll see you'll see just because a person has a business doesn't mean they're not doing their business in debt. Okay. So don't be impressed by people that you got to make sure you got to get out of debt so you can hear the right business people, the right real estate people. Like you hear Cosmic Wisdom, she's debt free. She is the type of person you listen to. You can talk to her, skip over all the nonsense. This is how you do this. This is why. And she don't have to explain to you that you must do this while you're not in debt. That part is that you walk up to her, hey, Cosmic Wisdom, I need to learn about real estate. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm not in debt. She knows exactly where to start with you. Oh, you don't? Okay, cool. We can start from here. Dave says, so putting away 19,000 in 401k, 10 years will be 190k as opposed to 190k in a 30-year mortgage. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Well, it's gonna. First of all, all right. Let me reread yours. So putting away 19k in a 401k 10 years, blah blah blah, as opposed to no. Look at it differently than this. Okay. Let's do it this way. Most jobs have matches too. So this is what you do. This is what happens when you're financially free. You must be debt free to see this. You put 19,000 away in your 401k. It grows with interest, whatever it invests in, right? You get the match on top of that. Okay. Also, you get to take that same $19,000 off of your annual income, which lowers you in your tax bracket. You pay less in taxes than the majority. The difference between what they pay and what you don't pay is money in your pocket. Okay. And here's how to look at a mortgage. This is how to look at a mortgage. Say like you add up your interest payments on a mortgage for 1 year. Say like that came out to $4,000. Now you times that by millions of people. Say like the average was that. Millions of people that are paying $4,000 a year for their house just to have it, and you don't have a mortgage. That's $4,000 in your pocket every single year. Every single year. While the equity in the house is yours. The equity is the frosting on top of the $4,000 a year that you're not paying. People in debt they look at hey man, if I invest this, man, I'll be earning this much interest. I'll earn 4 or 5% interest if I invest in this stock. If your house payment is say like 4% and you no longer paying it, that's 4% every year in your pocket that the 4% of millions of people are paying. Cosmic Wisdom says the debt is tied to the LLC, but banks will look at your personal credit score. You better believe they're going to look at your credit score, your personal credit score. What they're really looking at is see how much debt you're in. That's what they really want to see. Your score really means nothing. I want you guys to understand that. If you had a 400 score or 500, but you have no debt and money in the bank, the bank's gonna know that that credit score really doesn't mean anything. There's people that have money and their credit score is like 400. Some of them are even zero. You go to the bank and you say, hey, yeah, my credit score is this. But when they run your credit report, you have no debt and you got stacks of money in the bank. They're going to know that you know. Then you're going to be like, oh, credit score doesn't mean anything. No, it doesn't really. Credit scores only really mean something to people in the debt matrix, not for people that don't have debt. John says, I remember when I went on a date with a woman 2 days ago. I was talking about how Dave Ramsey speaks on paying cash for cars. I mentioned I wanted to spend $8,000 to $10,000 on a car. She thought that was nuts. Yeah. I mean, the majority of people in the debt matrix believe that that's nuts. They're just telling you that they don't have $8,000 to $10,000 to spend on a car. They don't have it. Because people in the debt, outside the debt matrix, they would be like, oh, that's smart. Okay, that's the way to do it. When you have cash and you about to drop 10, you can since there's more people in debt than not, you can get a $20,000 car for $10,000 because you have $10,000 in cash and they're in debt, so they're going to take it. Dave says, I get to reduce my tax bracket after the end of the year. At the end of the year, your tax bracket will be dropped. You'll be dropped in your tax bracket, or you might even, it counts on where you're at in the tax bracket. What if you're right on the line of 24% and you max out your 401k and it brings you right under 22%? So not only, just think about it this way. Say like you were on the line between the two tax brackets. You get to put away $19,000 in your 401k growing. You get to get the company match. You get to take $19,000 off your annual income. So if you were right on the line between the tax bracket between the 24% and the 22%, you just dropped your annual income, your taxes from the 24 percentile tax bracket to the 22 percentile tax bracket. Not just within your tax bracket, you dropped the whole tax bracket. That's just frosting on top of frosting on top of frosting on top of frosting. The only investment that is guaranteed ROI is taxes. Pay less than the majority. That's money in your pocket. Anything you find, any city you're in, figure out how to pay less in taxes than the majority is money in your pocket. I didn't see that in a million years because I was in debt. No risk. This is guaranteed ROI, no risk on it, no nothing. Cosmic Wisdom says, oh yeah, I hear real estate strategies every day. Can you imagine Cosmic Wisdom's world as a debt-free real estate investor person, hearing people in real estate talking debt all day long? That would drive me crazy. That would drive me nuts. That would drive me completely nuts. Dave Bourne says, you can't own a home with a mortgage attached to it. No, you can't own a home. People every day believe they're homeowners while having 30-year mortgage, 30 years. The reason why it's 30 years because the mortgage payment is the minimum payment. The mortgage payment is the minimum payment. That's why it's 30 years. And the reason why you don't look at a mortgage payment as a minimum payment because it's so large to you. Willie says, just like Dave Ramsey. Mez says, thoughts on Social Security and pensions being unsustainable. I don't even think about that stuff, Mez. That only matters to people that's going to depend on it. My plan on right now, creating this business, I'm not even thinking about Social Security, a pension. I don't have any of that anyway. It doesn't even matter. I'm not depending on that. I'm depending on me. I am the only person. Listen, this is why I know I'm gonna be a millionaire, because I'm gonna do everything the opposite when it comes to taxes, everything, and I'm gonna depend on me. I'm the fastest growing asset that I have in my arsenal. Me. Hyphy says, every woman I deal with, I let her know up front, we will be going on dates in a late 90s in a late 90s truck. Take it or leave it. Damn, I'm surprised you even say that. Shit, I just drive up. I don't care. I don't care what anybody thinks. This your truck? Sure is. Dave Bourne says the rate of return is no risk. Nope. Taxes is guaranteed ROI, and it's phantom income. People don't take into account. People don't look at money as collectively. Instead, they always people in debt look at money individually, their problems, why it's happening to them, why are they so broke, believing it's just them because they're not looking at the whole picture. All I got to do is just turn around and say, wait a minute, There's trillions of dollars in car loan debt. If I just get out of car loan debt, I'll save a lot more money. Yes. Only people that have car loans have car loans. So don't have a car loan. Jaws 2003 says, LJ, I see you say to buy private sale cars from people in debt. If these people are upside down on their loans, how can giving a person 10K on a 20K loan get? No, you don't. You don't buy any. That's mathematically impossible. You don't buy from people that are upside down in the car. You can't do that. I'm just saying there's people that are in debt that are not upside down in their car. Okay. That's not, so you got to remember, some people worship credit so much they won't let that happen. So they'll go into debt trying to save a depreciating object by getting loans on it to keep up with their payments. This is what people do. People in debt do. They believe they can borrow some money from somewhere else and catch up on another payment over there. But it's just, they don't know it's just putting themselves deeper in debt. That you can't borrow your way out of debt. That's impossible. So when I'm talking about, Jaws, you got to remember, it's not only debt, it's emotional. You might come across somebody that they're mad about the divorce, so they're going to sell their husband's car for $100 or half the price because they're just it doesn't matter. There's millions of reasons why you never pay full price for a car again. Once you're financially free, blue book value of a car no longer matters. Housing market prices no longer matter to me. I don't care what a person's selling a house for or what price. That doesn't matter to me. I have no idea what they're selling it for. It could be a divorce, a job loss, job shut down, layoff. Who cares? It doesn't matter. There's a million of them. Tax purposes, tax liens. People refinance their house to the hill. They can't pay their taxes now. It's a million reasons. As long as there are millions of people with car loans out there, you have a 50% chance of getting the car for 50% off. Cousin Wisdom says, if I can just get a case of beer with my SSI, then I'm good. Right. I mean, people are saying it every day. They're like, hey, man, SSI ain't going to be the same by the time I'm retirement. I just want to go, why are you hoping on that? I don't even get it. Why are you worried about that? And even if somebody goes all the way to SSI with student loans, what do you think what money do you think they're going to take out of to pay back that student loan? Just because you're retired, your student loan is not retired. They're going to take it out of your SSI. I don't know how people in the debt matrix think. I really don't. But that's all part of the plan too, you guys. That's part of the plan. That's why I need to hear what are your biggest fears? Mess says, I wish I could opt out of Social Security, but I can't. They wouldn't let me. That's like $600 a month that I'm never going to see a return on. Well, we'll see what happens, but as long as you're paying it in, and I don't care how rich you get, you look and see it when it's your age. I don't care if you have $5 million in the bank. You better say, hey, I'm applying for Social Security. You better get that money. You earned it. But again, just get out there, believe in yourself, make a lot of money. You won't even think about stuff like that. It won't even matter. You won't pay attention to none of that stuff on the news. Oh, Social Security is not going to be here. This is budget cuts and this and that. You won't pay attention to any of that stuff. I don't watch the news. I don't pay attention to stock prices and all that other stuff. I don't pay attention to none of that. None of that. I only focus in on me. Day says, I'm catching up on the comment. Thanks, Cosmic Wisdom. Okay. I'm excited about this next step when I'm gonna take this channel. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go. And I know it's scary to think that this is one thing you're gonna have to face. Okay, you're gonna have to face that you've been doing it wrong. Okay, You're going to have to face that you've been doing it wrong. And that's okay. Okay, that's part of the process. It's okay. Your parents didn't know, your family didn't know. They all didn't know because they're part of the matrix, okay? It's not, don't take it personally. Just be happy that you do know now. Just be happy that don't dwell on woulda, coulda, shoulda, then. Hindsight is 2020. I know that. Okay, get over that. Whatever this fear you might have in your mind right now that's preventing you from becoming a millionaire or whatever you want to be, those are just words, really. Remove that block, and this is how you remove it. If you don't pay that debt off, you're going to be a slave until you're dead. You're going to be a slave until you're dead. Medical and credit card debt can be a hindrance. Oh, yeah, it is. Debt, period. Doesn't matter what kind of debt, just debt. Dave Bourne says, I backed out of financing a auto loan from different dealers when they asked 400 plus on a lease. Oof. Add that with insurance, and now you're paying 700 plus on a new car. That's what's going into debt again. That was going into debt. Oh yeah, definitely going into debt. Think about it this way. When I think about a car loan now, I couldn't even imagine signing myself up to be legally attached to a thing that goes down in value every time I drive it. For 72 months, that's 6 years. People are financing cars for 84 months. That's 7 years. To be legally attached to something that's financially going down in value every time I turn the key. For 7 years? That sounds like financial prison to me. If this is you and you're listening to me right now in your car while you're in traffic right now, this is you. You're in the very thing that's keeping you in traffic. You're in it. Look around. Look at your blinkers. Look down at your gas pedals. Look at your gear shifter in the middle of the thing. That's what's keeping you there. That leather, look at the leather seats. Can you smell that new car smell? That new car smell is keeping you in the very traffic that you're in right now that you don't even want to be in. You got a sunroof? Go ahead and push the button. Go ahead and let it back. That's what's keeping you there in traffic. You feel comfortable? Do you look nice? You look nice in traffic. Look to your left. Now look to your right. They all got the same face as you. You're in the very thing that has you there. The car. I didn't know that. Don't worry about it. Don't feel bad about it. I didn't know that either. I was doing the same thing you were. Here, let's take a unconscious drive down to work from home. Okay. You get up, you got to leave out at a certain time because if you leave 5 minutes later, the traffic's going to be totally different. And then that light you get stuck at, you know exactly how long it is without even knowing it. You don't even have to time it. You already know we're going to take a drive. And then as you drive into work, you're going to automatically swerve around that pothole that you know is there, that they keep filling, that it keeps going back into a hole. They keep filling it, and then they keep going back into a hole. And you wonder, how come they keep filling that? And the same old repetitive things that you say. Trust me, I did it all. Make a left, turn there, go around this road because there's a dip in that side. It's kind of hard on the car. Let me make it through this light because it's going to be forever if I don't. It's the same old thing. This is all programmed. Probably don't even think it. Probably don't even think about it, right? And I remember when I was debt free, it only came to me then. Oh my God. I'm doing the same thing every single day. I'm going to do this until I'm 65, 70. No, I'm not. Dave says, Dave Bourne says, my biggest fear was getting suckered in debt situation like that, all because I thought I needed it. I keep my old car fixed up and put the money towards other debts. Yeah. I always like to show people my truck, so they can understand that when you're not in debt, you have the money to keep your car looking good. You have the money to keep your car looking good. That's my 1995 GMC Yukon two-door GT. 1995. This year, it's 25 years old. 25. She is 25. Everywhere I go, people look at me as if I'm driving a brand new Porsche or something. Dude, you want to sell it? Nope. I haven't seen that. Yeah, I know. That's why I bought it. I've never seen a Yukon GT. I always see the Chevys. I know. That's why I bought this one. Ex Fat Boy Lifestyle says, show off that clean ass truck. Yeah, it's clean and I'm debt free. That's why. Anything goes wrong with it, I just get it fixed. Like I took it in there. To shop the other day. They was like, hey man, because it was kind of pulling to the right? And I said, man, it's more than just alignment. I know it's something else, right? Gets under there, it's like all the this and that shot underneath, and he showed me to me, right? He said to fix all that, it's probably gonna be about $1,400, $1,500. I said, cool. Why is it cool? Because I have no car payments. I haven't had to drop that kind of money into that truck in like 4 years. This past year, in 2019, I drove from Seattle, Washington, in this truck, Seattle, Washington, pulling a small, U-Haul thing, right, to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. No problems, no problems whatsoever, none. That's my truck right there, man. 1995. Let me throw this up there so you guys can see this. That's another shot of it. Did it look like that when I bought her? Oh no, it didn't look like that. No, sir. It didn't look like that when I bought her. I wish I should have took some before pictures, but I didn't. I always say I was gonna do it, but I never did. I should have. Thank you, Exclamatic. 1995. She is 25 years old. Probably older than some of you guys in this room. To a 25-year-old, yeah, this truck is really old. Man, that thing was made before I was born. Yeah. I know it seems old, but when you're 50, 25 is really not that old. It's not that old. But again, you don't see trucks like that anymore. That's why I bought it. And I'm debt free and I can keep it clean. I get respect everywhere I drive it. Doesn't matter if I'm driving up to a 5-star restaurant. They'd be happy to park it in valet. Be happy to do it. Hyphy says, when you're out of debt, you perform auto maintenance instead of paying for auto repairs. There's a difference. Yeah, it's so crazy. I get therapy on working on my own truck sometimes. It counts on the major stuff like the $1,500 stuff. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not that. But if it's just a regular like an oil change or maybe I even did my brakes myself. It was cool. It's like therapy, right? But when it's like deep serious stuff like popping out what are those things called? That's what's costing most of the work. They got to push these what are those things? Because they're compressed in, right? And I can't do that myself. So that's what's a lot of the labor is going to cost to get certain things fixed on the front end. But my point is this: if the average car payment is $500 a month, and this repair for the front end is going to cost me $15, that's just 3 months of car payments, and I don't have car payments at all. That's why when you guys get out of debt, don't listen to people in the debt matrix, okay? They'll keep you in, they want you to be like them. Any other people got anything that's keeping them from achieving their financial goals? What do you think that is? Tell me. What do you believe that is? What do you think's holding you back from achieving this life of money abundance? You know, what is holding you back? But I am telling you guys the answer right now. In order to become a millionaire, you must first know how to count to a million. See how I say certain things so simple? In order for you to start to count to a million, there must be according to math, listen, according to math, there must be a starting point in order for anybody to count to anything. So if you want $1 million, you must first learn how to count to $1 million. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the number where you start. That's where you start. And if you don't even know how much debt you're in, you'll never be able to count to a million. Isn't that so simple? Listen how easy I make that sound. You want to be a millionaire? Yeah. First learn how to count to a million. What do you mean? Savings minus debt equals your number where you start. Oh, Willie says, whenever I get a certain amount of money saved, I'll start spending, but not my emergency fund. But not my, whenever I get a certain amount of money saved, I'll start spending, but not my. Are you saying you're spending even though, what do you mean? You're spending it on non-debt? You're not paying, you're not using that money to pay off debt? Is that what you're saying? You got the, sound like you're saying you have the $1,000 emergency fund, and because all money outside of the emergency fund goes towards debt. You're saying, basically, you're saying you're spending it on other things other than debt. Is that what you're saying? I wanted to point this out to you guys too. I got on this truck, I have a auto start. So I can start the truck up anywhere in the world because it goes through the internet. When the alarm goes off, if somebody messes with it, my phone goes off. So just in case if it's parked somewhere where I can't physically see it or hear it, my phone will alarm me. I mean, a loud, irritating sound. Okay, you're not in debt, but you're spending wrong. Okay, I got it. So, because I don't want people thinking that. Now, don't if you're calling it junk, okay, it's just junk. I mean, you know what you're doing, okay? Because I'm not saying if you're debt free, I'm not saying have some fun. I'm not saying do some things. I'm not saying that. Enjoy your money, enjoy it, but if you believe you're overspending on junk, I mean, you're not getting financially ahead. It's time for you to learn some investing or something like that, right? If you've maxed out all your tax options, your pre-tax options, I mean, 401k, HSA, and this is money after that fact. So say it like this, Willie, Little John. If you have a 401k and an HSA and you're not maxing that out, you're missing money. You're absolutely missing money. Don't worry about the 401k investment, where they're investing it at. I mean, that's sort of important. Don't get me wrong. But the major important is that tax savings. Is that tax savings. What's up, Green Machine? Welcome. You're missing them. If you have a 401k and an HSA, I'm telling you right now, you are missing money. Any taxes you save that the majority are paying, that's money in your pocket. You got to remember, the majority of people in debt can never max out a 401k and the HSA at the same time. Never in a million years. They don't even believe that's to be possible. And then you got to remember, if you can do something that the millions of people that cannot, that's money in your pocket. That does have a 350 in it, Green Machine. Yes, it does. 350 stock. It's all stock, nothing fancy. Just the stock engine, dual exhaust. Those are LTZ rims off of, like, I believe a late 90s model Tahoe or something like that. Because the stock tires I just did not like. And yeah, that's the original paint job though. That is not repainted. That is not repainted. At least I didn't paint it. Quentin says, do your auto start have a 12-minute shut off? 15 minutes. I wish it had a lower shut off time. It has a 15-minute, but I usually turn it off before then. I don't let it run the whole 15 minutes. I let it run for about maybe 6, 7. After about 7 minutes, it's pretty warm, especially down here, down south in South Carolina. It don't need to run that long. So I can just push it to turn off, or, actually I got to get it in there now. The service I am with now, they run off Verizon towers, and they just sent an announcement that they're not going to be doing contract with Verizon anymore. So they're doing with AT&T or something. So now I have to get this module changed out in my truck, to get it switched over. Thanks, Green Machine. Fat Boy Lifestyle says that careless spending kills your chances of really becoming wealthy. Spending without a purpose is something I struggled with for years. Yeah, you don't even feel alone, ex-Fat Boy. I'm telling you, man, because I did it too. Did it for years. I mean, you just programmed to do it. No, I mean, people do it all the time. I just have to ignore them. What's up, Fred? Man, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. How you been doing, Fred? Good morning. Good morning, LJ and SMD family. I'm at work. The self-inflicted pain and the length of time it takes just to get to zero. What's gets to me? Oh, okay. Oh, the length of time. Okay, I see what you're saying, Fred. And many people struggle with this. How long, if they see their debt, when they see their debt, and then they calculate how long it will take to pay off. Now, many people don't understand that there's many different ways to pay off your debt. There's many different ways. But you got to remember, however long that takes, whatever avenue you take, it's going to take some time, right? Always remember, there is no choice. Don't act as if it's an option. It's not an option. When you hear people say, like, should I buy a house before I pay off my student loans? That question implies that there is an option in that question. There is no option in that question. If you have student loan debt, you have no money to buy a house. If you're struggling with paying off your student loan versus buying a house, according to mathematics, there is no option. You have to pay off the student loan debt because you have no money to buy a house. Green Machine says, I ride a 97. Oh, K15 extended cab Silverado runs like a top. That year, those 90 models, Green Machine, man, they are solid, man. I still see the 90 models Tahoes on the road. People should pay attention to that. The 4 doors, I see a lot of the 4 doors, 90 models, the trucks. Those were just, those years, they were straight solid, easy to work on. Parts are available you can always find the parts. I mean, they are solid. All you got to do is pay attention, look around, see what cars are still around. That's the kind of car you want. Green Machine says, "I'm in the hole for 6 years." Are you saying that you're in debt for 6 years? What are you saying by that? What does that mean, Green Machine? Cosmic Wisdom says, hit that like button and subscribe. Go to savingsminusdebt.com to set up a free consultation. Be sure to mention your local time zone. Thank you, Cosmic Wisdom. Much appreciated. Yeah, that's my baby there, though. That's my baby. Love my truck. Fat Boy says, once I created a separate account, business account, and paid myself a employee income, I watched the money pile up quicker than I ever seen before. Me too, man. When I saw that, when I got out of debt and I saw how fast my money stacked up, it was nice to see, but I was also upset because of I could have did this a long time ago. I could have did this a long time. I could have still enjoyed kicking it with my friends. I still could have just had fun with them. Only had I just did it a different way. Just believe in mathematics. If I just did that. Green Machine says, I have a total of $50,000 in debt. Well, Green Machine, first of all, be happy that you know how much debt you're in. Okay, that's number one. If you just knowing how much debt you're in, and to prove what I'm saying, know your exact amount of debt and then go ask 10 of your friends, hey, man, you know how much debt you're in? I guarantee you none of them will know. They won't even know. They'll all guess. You should try it, Green Machine. Add up your total amount of debt and then casually ask your friends and your family members, hey, you know how much debt you're in? And bring it up casually. Just like, man, this debt, man. Hey, man, you know how much debt you're in? Guarantee you none of them will know. And then I want you to ask yourself, hey, man, how did LJ know that? How did he know how did he know anyone I asked won't even know how much debt they're in? Because they're in debt. People in debt don't know how much debt they're in. They don't even know they're in debt. People in debt believe debt is just part of life. It's not. Only people in debt think that way. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm going to say this slowly so you guys can hear me. Only people in debt believe debt is part of life. Only people in debt believe that. That's why they believe it, because they're in debt. See how just one infinite circle. It just keeps going round and round and round. Debt is part of life. Yeah, for you, people in debt. Yeah. Cosmic Wisdom says, after you clear off consumer and medical debt, that is, yeah, just debt. Every debt has to be gone. Learning to sit on cash is a skill indeed, but once you learn it, you guys, once you learn how to sit on money, it's not a task. It's just there. You won't even look at money like that anymore. You won't be checking your accounts every 5 minutes just to make sure it's not going to go over. You don't look at money like that anymore. Yeah, debt is slavery. That's the new. They can't physically enslave people anymore. That's against the law. You can't physically enslave anybody. So people thought slavery, oh, it's abolished. No, it's not. Slavery's not abolished. No, they changed it. They changed it from physical to mental. And I want you guys to listen to what I'm saying when I say this, okay? They changed slavery from physical to mental. Now, you may have never heard of this before, but you'd be crazy if you thought I was the only one that knows this, that knows what I'm saying. They said, "Hey, okay, we're gonna make everybody believe that they need higher education, that they're not anything without higher education. So we're gonna give them the option to get student loans, and then people sign up for student loans, not even worried about why is this money so easy to get? How come they don't care if I get student loans and spend it on rims and clothes and invest or whatever?" You know, people be saying the craziest thing to people in debt. Hey, man, go borrow some student loan money and invest in property. People in debt believe that. Anybody that does that, they're a slave. I would never enslave myself to an object. these slaves, these the invisible slavery is the best because people have it. They wear invisible chains, and these chains go through all metal detectors. They stretch worldwide. They're always maintained. They're always clamped by the very people that put them on themselves. People in debt, the debt matrix, they put themselves. They put their own chains on there. You guys don't understand. I really feel for people that believe they'll never pay off their student loan debt. I really feel for those people. If you believe that you'll never pay off your student loan debt, they have you exactly where they want you. You're a slave for life. That's a harsh fact, man. If you believe that you'll never pay off your student loan debt, they have you exactly where they want you. You're now a slave for life. You'll be voting for whoever says they're going to get rid of student loan debt. That's the person you're going to vote for. Some kind of new something comes up that promises to reduce student loan debt. That's what you're going to vote for because you're in debt. You believe that there's something out there that's going to save you when you're the only one that can save yourself. People think higher education is going to make them more money, totally forgetting that you got to first go in debt first to get the higher education. That you're going in debt for something, guaranteed debt. You're going to go in something that is not guaranteed. You're not guaranteed to make more money if you get higher education. That doesn't mean anything. Fat Boy says, I get offended when someone tries to sell me something I don't need, not want. That's why I hate commercial ads. They refuse to just let me live. But Fat Boy, you got to remember, that's the way business is run. You know why it irritates you? Because you understand how it works. That's why it's irritating. Commercials don't make sense. I don't watch TV commercials. I don't watch any of that stuff. It irritates me. It's bombarded commercials that come across my Pandora. It's even 15 seconds. Even YouTube commercials irritate me, especially the ones that lock me into the 15-second watch. I can't stand that. Those commercials that come on YouTube and they're just 15 minutes. You can't even click the next. You got to just wait the whole 15 seconds. You got to wait. Trying to sell you something that it's just part of business. I get it. I don't hate on them. It's just business. This is way of life. You need to study whatever. I don't know if you do have a business or not, but you got to copy the big boys, Fat Boy. All you got to do is this. You want to master selling and marketing. Every commercial you see come on TV, put it on mute. And then you'll see how they're doing it. Every commercial that comes on TV, put it on mute and then watch what they're doing. Don't worry about what they're selling because they barely even talk about the product. I saw, check this out. I saw a General commercial the other day, the General Insurance. I saw this, Snoop Dogg was in this commercial. And Snoop Dogg is in the General in a lowrider car bouncing up and down, and the General supposedly in the car with them. When you see places that do gimmicks like that, there's a reason why they're doing a gimmick. You got to think, how good is their product if they have to use this gimmick? Because if you look at it, you got to think, what does that have to do with car insurance? Nothing. It has nothing to do with car insurance. They're just hoping you don't catch that. They're hoping that if you see Snoop Dogg in a bouncing lowrider and the General's in it, they're hoping that you totally forget about what they're trying to sell you. It's car insurance. What's that have to do with car insurance? Nothing. Cosmic Wisdom says, I guess I'll go into the office now. You all have a good day. I'll listen in the car. All right, Cosmic Wisdom, you have a good one. Green Machine says, 25K in student loan, and I found out community college had the same for free. Yeah. Ain't that hard pill to swallow, right? But listen, Green Machine, don't be upset about it. It's all part of the process of getting out of debt. If you think, say like this, I can imagine what you felt when you got 25K in student loan debt and you found out you could have did the same thing for community college for free. I know you just that that just probably would have flipped your brain. I can only imagine how you felt inside when you found out that information. When you get out of debt, times that by 100,000. Times that feeling by 100,000 when you get out of debt. You're going to see so much stuff that you didn't see before. Ooh, it has to come in pieces because you'll go crazy. You'll go crazy if it all hits you at once. This is the important part of paying your money to get out of debt. It has to go in pieces because you're earning the money, checks go to pay off. This is phases that you must go through. You must, and paying off your debt forces you to go into phases. It forces you, because if it hits you at once, it could literally put you in depression, because all the money mistakes that you made by financing things. You're gonna see, oh my God, how far you could have been ahead if you didn't finance all this stuff. Green Machine says the same automotive program for free. Yeah, that's a tough pill to swallow, man. But you got to get over that too. Green Machine says Brighter Image Lab 17K times what's that say? Brighter Image Lab 17K times a day on YouTube. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Green Machine. I'm not sure what you're talking about by that. Quentin says, I was at the GMC dealership on yesterday to get service done on my truck. I had about 4 salesperson come ask me if I wanted to trade my truck in for something new with payments. Yeah, don't they? They don't know you speak. And remember, Quentin, they don't know you speak debt free. Okay, they don't know. They're just doing their job. They're probably selling cars because they're in debt. You got to remember, the majority of people are in debt. Okay, they're just trying to. It's nothing personal. They're just trying to, whatever they're trying to sell you, they're going to get commission on. That's just business. It's nothing. You know, when that happens to me, because sometimes I'll take my truck to the dealership. It counts on what I want done. But they'll try to do the same thing. First they're tripping over the truck. I don't know. My truck, they don't think I'm driving this truck in to trade it in for a new one. So they don't really say things like that. But I have one person said it, but I just turned to him. I said, hey, I don't do car payments. I don't make car payments on the truck. Quentin says, it seemed like everywhere you look, somebody is trying to sell you something. Yes. Not seems. That is, Quentin. That's true. It doesn't seem like anything. When you're driving down the street, you see all the car lots. Look how many car lots. I mean, like when we went to that coffee shop, when we was driving home that one way, you see all the big boy car lots right there? Those are big boys. They're making millions off of finance cars. Oh, I gotta look that up. I don't know about the commercials on YouTube from Brighter Image Labs. Now I gotta look that up. I'm not sure what that is. Or maybe I have and I didn't know it was from Brighter Image Labs. I would have to pay attention. For those of you that are new to my channel, please don't forget to subscribe. All right, don't forget to subscribe. Please hit the like button. I always forget every now and then to throw up my Cash App. There's my Cash App. If I helped you in some way, and and here's my PayPal. These are for donations. Some people I give them valuable information and that helps them out a lot. They decide to throw a donation in there. Much appreciated. Here's my Facebook. Here is my Instagram. And if you would like a Savings Minus Debt t-shirt, go to savingsminusdebt.com and look under products. The Smile People, Green Machine said. Okay, the Smile People. Oh, is that the one that do the straighten your teeth people? Is that what that is? The thing that promises to straighten your teeth with some kind of thing or something like that. So I'm telling you guys, don't let the people in the debt matrix trap you, man. Don't let them do that. I'm creating a program right now to help you guys, help you out the debt matrix, okay? Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. I do a lot of memes up there, funny memes that you guys, I do a lot of my memes up on Instagram. And when you go to share my channel, this is all you got to do. This is all you got to share. Hey man, I found this dude. Just Google hashtag savings minus debt. I will be the only person that populates in that search. Go ahead, do it. Go ahead and try it. Open up your Google browser and type in hashtag savings minus debt. I'll be the only person that pops up. And you're probably thinking, how in the hell did LJ do that? You're probably wondering that, huh? Out of the whole internet, how'd I do that? Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, that's something I would never do, but it's just because getting your teeth fixed is expensive and people don't want to put that kind of money into it. But I think it's worth it, man, to spend the money to get your teeth fixed right. You know what I'm saying? Just go ahead and when you're debt free, you get I remember I got braces when I first got debt free. I went and got braces, right? And people would ask me, man, why are you getting braces at your age? I would go, is there a certain age where you just don't care about your teeth or something? Why are you asking me that question? I like straight teeth. Teeth are important to me. That's why I smile the way I do, because I have all my teeth. But like I said, go ahead and Google hashtag savings minus debt, you guys. Open up a browser and do that. I'm gonna be the only one that populates in that search. And no, I didn't pay for that. That's why I put this on the front of my t-shirts, because people will look at it and then they'll say Google hashtag savings minus debt. They have to go do it because they want to know what that is. What does that mean? Thank you, Green Machine. Much appreciated. Get those likes up. I can't even tell. I got to go over to my actual channel to see you guys see the likes and stuff. I can't really see all that stuff through the app I'm using to talk to you guys. I got to look at two screens to do that. I don't feel like doing that. But do you guys have any other questions? You guys have really helped me out a lot by telling me your fears of whatever it is, the blocks that are preventing you from becoming debt free. That's really helped me, and it's helping me design my first, whatever you want to call it. I got somebody helping me with this, so I don't even know what to call it. But anyway, I'm working on something. Working on something right now that's going to help people get out of the debt matrix. And it's going to be very, very basic. It's going to be easy. It's going to be so simple. You're not going to believe how simple it is. It's going to almost be non-believable. Green Machine says people don't want the medicine to help them. Nah. When it comes to debt, Green Machine, people don't know they're in debt. They don't. They don't know they're in debt. I mean, and you gotta really realize that. Once you get out of the debt matrix, you're going to learn to accept that debt free is a whole different language. Mazda 5 says, Good morning, LJ. My son just texted me from school and told me his teacher told him everyone has debt, and he told her he will not have debt by 21 and said your website. Oh my God, that's awesome. Oh my God, that's awesome. That is so awesome. Thank you for even sharing that with me. Thank you. How old is your son, by the way? What grade is he in? That is awesome. That is so awesome, man. To and just to not even blaming the teacher. I want you guys to see something in the statement, okay? Don't even blame the teacher. The teacher doesn't know. Usually teachers become teachers because they love teaching. Okay. So I don't think the teacher is purposely going into the classroom and telling the kids, hey, you're going to always be in debt. No, the teacher's just saying that because the teacher doesn't know. That's just what the teacher believes. And listen to what I'm saying. Only people in debt believe you'll always be in debt. Only people in debt believe that. Only people in debt believe debt is part of life. Doesn't that just make sense? Only people in debt believe debt is part of life. Thank you, Green Machine. Much appreciated. Green Machine says, thank you for all you do, big bro. You are welcome, man. I want all you guys, especially you younger dudes, younger than me. Now, I've been different all my life, man. I've always done everything opposite of the majority. My physical health, I've always made sure I stood out from the rest ever since grade school. And that's not ego. That's just saying, hey, everybody's an individual. I'm me. I knew now I knew, check this out. I know everybody says this, but I knew I was supposed to be a millionaire. I already knew it. I just didn't know how. I know a lot of people say it, but I knew I was supposed to be one. That's the best way I can say it. I was supposed to, but I didn't know how. I was open a business, start something. This is it right here. How do I know this is it? Because everything I'm saying, everything I teach a person, I can 100% prove to be true. That's how I know this is it. Ninth grade. That is awesome, man. Oh my God, that is so awesome. I hope the teacher actually goes to my website. I really do. I hope they actually go, because you can tell a person in debt, oh, that's not true, and send them my way. You got to remember, they got to be ready to receive this message. The majority of people in debt will come to my channel and believe don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm making up everything. Now, remember, I can prove everything I'm saying, but they still won't believe it. Day says pre-tax 403B or post-tax contribution. I have to pay taxes later if I do pre-tax and max out rather than the post-tax. I need to reduce my tax bracket single. Okay, I want you to listen. Okay, I'm gonna read this slower, okay, so you can understand, and me too. Pre-tax 403B or post-tax contributions. I'll have to pay taxes later if I do pre-tax, and max out rather than the post-tax Roth option. I need to reduce my tax bracket single, 6 figures, no dependents. Okay, this is what you need to do. The only time that matters is now. The future doesn't exist. You're creating the future now. You are creating, you only can create your future today. So don't worry about post-tax, or you want to always get your savings now. Max out all pre-tax options, pre-tax first, because you get to save the money now. When you get out of debt, you'll worry about the taxes that you're going to pay post-tax later. There's different ways to do that. Okay. Don't worry about that. You worry about the money you save right now. Everything pre-tax. The government says if you do this right now today, you will save money today, not in the future, right now. You max out every pre-tax option you can find. And even this, listen to what I'm saying. Even when my money's really starts growing, whatever city I'm living in, I'm going to look up the city, something, whatever. I'm going to find somebody that knows what I'm talking about, because I know I'm not saying it right. I want to look up everything that the city offers as a pre-tax option so I can get out of paying local taxes. There's something that the city wants to invest in. They're looking for investors. And for investing, they're going to give you some tax deductions, takeaways, something to do with something. That's guaranteed ROI every single year. People don't know to look for that stuff because people are in debt. So taxes are kicking my behind. I know it seems like that. What that means is that when you get higher up in the tax bracket, you always hear people in debt matrix say, "Hey, the more you make, the more they take." Nobody ever stops to ask, "Why is that? Why is it that the more you make, the more they take?" Because it's time for you to understand how the system truly works right now. So if you're making six figures, you need to be debt free and maxing out your 401k and your HSA. You will see what I'm talking about. You'll be like, "Oh, yes." If you're in six figures day, max out your 403b, max out your HSA, you max out all pre-tax options, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Mazda 5 says he said she told him she has a $50,000 student loan. Ooh. Oh, the teacher. See what I'm saying? You see how people say it loudly? She told him she has a 50 grand in student loan debt. That's a teacher that has pretty much given up, that believes everybody has debt. That's why she's saying that. That's why she's saying that, because she's in debt. Only people in student loan debt have student loan debt. That's why she's saying that. If that teacher was debt free, she wouldn't have told she wouldn't have told your son that everybody has debt, because she wouldn't have debt. So she wouldn't even know to say that. She would be like, "No, you don't have to have debt. That's right." Mazda 5 said he said she wrote down your website. I hope so. Because honestly, outside looking in, I think that's horrible what they do to teachers when it comes to student loan debt. I think it's horrible. And if you're a teacher, I'm gonna walk you through the outside looking in so you can see what's happening to you. You have to go to college. Let me get off this table so I can stop squeaking and stuff. You have to go to college to get an education that costs you more than your actual annual pay as a teacher. So right off the bat, you're in the hole. Right off the bat. Now, teachers are still fairly young. They're still be in their 20s, so they're still young. They just think it's part of life, yeah. But they get in debt to get education that costs more than what they're going to be paid as a teacher. Right off the bat, that should be a signal. That should be a sign. But then most young people, they get that teacher job, and then guess what? They have kids, get married, bury them even deeper in debt, burying them both in deeper in debt. Get the teachers to a point. Now remember, these teachers are teaching your children. And I'm not saying anything negative about teachers. I just want you to understand what debt does to a person. Bury them deep in debt. Now what? Now they gotta sign up for the slave camps, because once they get a teacher to believe that they'll never pay off their debt, now the teacher automatically thinks, "Oh, the only way I can get out of here is sign up for a student loan forgiveness program." Those are slave camps. Slave camps, where they tell you for the next 10 years of your life, they tell you where you're going to work, how much you're going to make, and how long, and all the rules you got to follow for 10 entire years. And then guess what? Even at the end, they don't even promise to forgive your student loans. They don't even promise it. They just say, once you follow all of our rules and regulations, we will review to see if you're going to get your student loan forgiven. What do you mean? I followed all the rules. What do you mean review? A review to see everything I did everything right? 99% of people got turned down. 99%. Teachers got to get second jobs, part-time jobs, and then you think a teacher's job just stops in the classroom? No, they got to bring all that stuff home, grading papers, all after hour. How do you think that's affecting their personal life? And now let's do the opposite. Can you imagine? Because, like I said, most teachers do teaching because that's what they love. Can you imagine the type of teacher that would be in a classroom that's totally debt free? I bet you their whole classroom is different. Guaranteed is different. Totally different. They're only doing the things that they want to do because they're debt free. They have no pressure. They don't really worry about the paycheck. They're making enough money because when you're out of debt, life is really not that expensive. So a teacher's salary is nice. It really is good. You just got to be out of debt to see it, right? And imagine a teacher coming to work because they love it. No pressure. It's like even when they sign up, you got to when a teacher signs up for a job, the totally it would be a totally different attitude when you come to work. Hey, okay, yeah, I'm gonna be a teacher here. Yeah, I got this degree. Yeah, so what are you guys expecting? Are you guys expecting me to bring this work home and to interfere in my own personal life? What are your expectations? You would ask those kind of questions because you want to get that clear with the school. Because anything I bring home, that would automatically mean I'm working for free. So are you guys expecting me to work for free? Will S says, I just emailed you a question, too much to type, but you can read it. You can read it to all now if you like. Okay, let me go check it out. 1 second here. Okay. All right. So Will S has a question here. So I'm going to read this out loud with his permission, of course. I have 5 credit cards, 3 are paid off. The other 2 I will pay off next month. Here is my question. 3 of the 5 have annual fee broken down $8 a month. Close them. All right, let's go. The other 2 have small annual fees, $39 each. My credit rating is low, so those were the best I could get. I know I know you day to I know you to keep the one with the highest allowance, but those have fees. The ones that I already paid the annual fee only have a $300 limit each. What do you suggest? Okay, this is what I suggest. Right now, first, I don't like to pay any kind of fee to have a piece of plastic in my pocket. Okay, but that's neither here nor there. Close 3 of them and keep one. Keep the one with the highest balance. Okay, keep the one credit card with the majority on it, whatever not your balance, the limit, with the one with the highest limit. Close all the rest, especially those $300 credit cards. Okay, when you have a low credit card limit, that says a lot about your finances. Okay, so close the $300 ones, close all those, and you only need one. Close the rest. And then as you keep this one, I want you to try to figure out how you can get another credit card with no annual fee, so you can get out of that one with the annual fee. Because I'm not paying to have plastic sitting in my pocket. Not doing that. Mazda 5 says on the government program, and it was scary to hear. So he said the website again. He said, you are right. What did he say? Okay, wait a minute. I'm on my website. On the government program. Wait, let me go back. On government program, and it was scary to hear. So he said the website again. Oh, are you saying the teacher told him that she's on the government program, his teacher is? Student loan forgiveness programs are slave camps. Think about what I'm saying. This is a program that's going to tell a grown-up what to do, where to work, and how much they're going to make for the next 10 years. 10 years. That sounds like a slave to me. And they limit your income. They're going to tell you how much you're going to make too at these places. Ooh. Day says, I stopped contributing to knock out this debt. That's okay, knock out this debt, but that I'm a week away from debt freedom. I'm ready to contribute again to 403B. No HSA, but I can also max out my 457 deferred compensation. Yeah, you max out all the and you were supposed to stop all contributions to your retirement because why? You really didn't have money to contribute to. You really don't have the money to contribute to a retirement plan when you're in debt. Add up all your savings. And this is for anybody listening in this room that you are in debt and you're contributing to your 403B, K, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? Add up all your savings, add up all your debt. Savings minus debt equals the money you have to contribute to your retirement. If you're in debt, that's going to be a large negative number. So any money you believe you're contributing to your retirement, it doesn't exist. You're in a negative. So you're not contributing anything to your retirement. That's mathematically impossible. Day says problem is their investment options don't look good in the 457B deferred compensation. I don't care. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about that right now. Don't worry about the future. You can take that money when you're not going to be here forever. Don't worry about that. The one thing you need to worry about right now is the tax savings. If you can do a 457 and a 403B at the same time and making 100K, you better max out both of them. That's $38,000 knocked off of your annual income a year. The present is when it comes to your money, the present time is the only time you should ever be thinking about. Don't worry about the future. You're creating the future right now. By maxing out, okay, listen to this. To prove what I'm saying, and I don't know if you can do a 457 and a 403B at the same time. I'm just going to assume you can, okay? This is all you got to do to make sure, see if you're making the right move. Ask anybody you know if they're maxing out both at the same time. I guarantee you won't find anybody. Guaranteed. That's how you know that's how you know you're supposed to do it. Because the majority can't. I am Brandon. Was the 99% denial for the student loan forgiveness program at the beginning of the application period or after we're accepted into the program and denied? I don't know. I think there were people in the program, and then when you got to be in there 10 years, I'm assuming, and then maybe this was the time. I mean, every year it got to happen because there's millions of people in the program, right? So every year people got to be getting denied. And guess what they do? People that get denied, guess what they do? They sign right back up like good slaves. They sign back up for a program that denied them. So they're signed up for another 10 years, crossing their fingers. You don't believe in yourself that you can pay off a student loan in 20 years of your life? That's why they do people like that. If they can get people to not believe that they can pay off a student loan in 10 years of their life, they have them. Those are slaves. Will S says the highest limit has a monthly fee. The $300 ones don't have monthly fees. $300 just ain't nothing. It's just pointless to have them in your pocket. Honestly, it's just a waste of time. That's what I'm saying. Keep the one with the highest limit. Keep working on getting a credit card with no annual fee. That's what I suggest. But the $300 ones, just get rid of those. Those are just like ankle biters. They're just irritating. Will S says all 5 have a fee since those are marketed to people with low credit scores. I want to keep one to rebuild credit and pay off the balance each month. Yeah, keep one to rebuild credit. Yeah, just keep one. Pay off the balance in full every single month. That's how you build your credit up. But just get rid of the others. You only need one. You don't need multiple credit cards. That's a myth. People in the debt matrix believe that you need multiple credit cards to build credit. That's not true. I have one. Boy, it's windy today here in South Carolina. Boy, that wind is kicking. Cosmic Wisdom says the person with the retirement account, if you feel your options are not good, just get an index fund based off the S&P 500. See, there's different ways. There's different ways to invest the money, but only thing I'm saying to you is get the tax savings today. This will give you practice. Once you're debt free, this will give you practice to when you get into the business world, the business side of things. You can start right now by treating your personal finances like the business of you. This phantom income, that's just two things as a regular worker. There's a whole bunch once you get on the business side of things. There's a whole bunch of tax savings. A lot, a lot. Hyphy says one of those credit card companies may have a program that allows you to graduate to a more premium credit card. Look into that or close those beginner credit cards. Yeah, those $300 ones, Will S, those are beginner credit cards. You know, just your limits tell me that. Okay, those $300 limit, $500 limit, that says a lot about a person. They have those limits because they're building their credit's bad. That's what that means. I believe my credit card's like 15, 20,000, something like that. And I'm not saying that to brag because I never use it. I've never used that much on my credit card ever. But you know, it's just that it is what it is. I don't look at when I say that limit, I don't look at it as that's my 20,000 or that's my 15,000. I don't look at it as that's my money. That's the bank's money. So they could jump it up to 100,000. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't be going around, hey, yeah, I got $100,000 credit card. It'd be like, why would I be bragging about the bank's money? That makes no sense to me. But what was that day? Was that day? No, that was Mazda. Mazda. I can't wait to. I really hope that teacher reaches out. I really do. And I'm excited that your son in the ninth grade is actually listening to what I'm saying. Your son sticks with this at nine in the ninth grade, man. His whole financial, he's not even gonna know anything different than what he's just gonna know debt is not part of life. That's just gonna be his life. Man, you have no idea. I wish that would have happened to me at that age. I would have known. I wish. I mean, I'm not blaming my parents. I'm not blaming. They didn't know. They was caught up in the debt matrix. It's difficult to get out of the debt matrix. And mm, there you go, Will. You're welcome, man. I want. I keep repeating this, you guys. I want everybody to feel financial freedom. I don't want you to get caught up. I want you to know. Just I want you to know these things outside of the debt matrix. A $300 limit that just says, "Hey, my credit's not that great." That's what that says. And those people with those $300 limits, like cars like that, they're just loaded with fees, all this other stuff that you can't even see, because they know only people in credit trouble or in debt would accept a $300 credit card. I'll just wait. No, thank you. Don't get me started on secured credit cards. Ooh, if you have a secured credit card, oh, they're getting you. They're getting you big time. Let me say that again. If you have a secured credit card, you're in financial trouble. They're getting you so bad. They're not even buying you dinner first. No glass of wine, no card, no I love you, nothing. Nothing. They're making you take a cab to dinner, making you wait in line while they sit down at the table. They're just doing you so dirty. Mm, mm, mm. I remember I had a secure credit card too. I couldn't see that for a million years. Crazy. But that ninth grader, man, oh man, he's lucky dude, man. I mean, that's crazy that he even said that to his teacher. That's crazy. That is crazy. I bet you that teacher was looking at that ninth grader like, "What do you know? You're only in the ninth grade. You have no idea." Yes, he does. Teacher doesn't know that math doesn't have an age limit. It doesn't matter how old you are in mathematics. It doesn't. You could be a teacher's age. You could be a ninth grader's age. What is the ninth grader? Is that like 14? Ninth grade is 14, 15, right? The teacher's looking at I'm sure the teacher's looking at the teenager like, "You're a teenager, you don't know anything." And the teenager can just look back at him, "I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm just using math. The math I learned in grade school just a few short years ago." You're welcome, Will S, man. You are welcome, man. I love, sharing this information. Again, I'm excited working on this project. A little nervous about it because it's unknown territory for me, but, the unknown excites me now, and I'm working with somebody I trust, that wants the same for me. Of course, it's works for him too, but it takes in belief in each other to make it work. That's the crazy part about it. It takes belief in one another to make the whole thing work. Trust people that can see something that I can't see. Thank you, Will S, for the donation. Shout out to Will S. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, man. That really means a lot because it's like because I've donated to people, and it's like people just don't wake up and say, "Hey, I'm gonna just donate this person." Somebody has to make you feel or see something like, man. Because I get it. You'd be like, "Dang, I didn't see that before." Yeah, you can get this 10, get this 20, 30, 50, 100, whatever, right? Whatever, it doesn't matter. So thank you very much, Will S. Much appreciated. 2020 is my year. It's going to be my year. I feel it. I already knew that in 2019 that 2020 is going to be my year. Know why I know it's going to be my year? Because I have no other options. It has to be my year. So since it has to be my year, I said it's going to be my year. I've had enough time to think about. I've had 4 years not having a traditional job. I needed all that part of the. It's all part of the process. Just think the majority of people have never ever. I mean, ask ask just a normal person. Hey, man, have you ever in your working life, and say it just like this: Have you ever in your working life took 1 month off of work? 1 month. Guarantee you, nobody says yes. Nobody. And I'm asking the majority of you. You need to take a year off. 1 year off of not working a job will change your entire life, change it 360. I mean, everything will change. Everything will change. And I imagine myself right now as that ninth grader, man. This kid, man, I can't even imagine what he's gonna hear at his young age. He's gonna be listening to his friends. He's gonna be listening to family members. He's already hearing it from his teachers that debt is part of life, and it's not gonna be part of his life. He's gonna be like, damn, LJ told me all this. He said people are gonna be saying that. He said people are gonna believe student loan debt is just part of life. He said that. And he said, when I tell my friends, they're gonna think I'm crazy. So I have to shut up. I can't even say anything. I can't tell nobody but him and people like him. Yep. But at this age, he's going to know how to still enjoy life. He's still going to be a kid, 14, 15, 20, 30. You can still, but he's going to be able to enjoy life with real money. Mm, mm, mm. So congratulations, man. Your son is ahead of the game. Your son is ahead of the game, Mazda 5, ahead of the game. Oh man, and you know what? I'm happy that I am able to contribute to that progress. Nobody's going to be able to fool your child financially. Financial scams, nobody will be able to fool them. Nobody, because financial scams don't make financial sense. That's how to know it's a financial scam. So anybody as he's growing up, even if even if say like your son becomes a successful sports star or business or whatever, right? As a young child, you don't really understand money, but you don't really need to understand money like that. He just needs to understand money the way he understands it now. Mathematic, always trust math. Nobody be able to fool him ever. Anybody that comes up with a financial deal or wants to partner up with him, you say, "Hey, that's cool. Let me see a personal credit report first." That's it. Personal credit reports don't lie. You can't change your social security numbers tied to it. Scammers can't even do that. Here's another higher level so I can help you guys understand that there is a hierarchy to this whole equation, okay? There's certain rules, there are unwritten rules that there's certain things that cannot be messed with. Social security number is one of them. That's a no-no. I guarantee you, you won't hear about a hacker hacking into the social security number database. Guarantee you'll never hear that ever. They will bury you under the jail with that. You can't do that. That'll mess up the whole system. You'll never hear about somebody hacking in to the three credit bureaus databases and changing credit cards, credit scores, and manipulating them and changing. You'll never hear about it. That'll mess up the whole system. You can't have that. You'll never hear about a hacker hacking into the student loan database and wiping out people's student loans. That'll never happen. That will bury you under the prison. They will bury you. There's rules, and once you get out of debt, you can clearly see there's rules. There's rules. Think you ever hear about somebody hacking into the IRS database, wiping out people's IRS debt? That'll never happen. That will never happen. They will bury you. There's rules. You always hear about getting hacked into the customer database of it's always the customer information that gets hacked. Have you noticed that? It's just the customer information. And then when it gets hacked, then they come back and sell you protection. It's just the craziest nonsense when I think about it. Oh, Experian got hacked, the user information, this and that, and blah blah blah, and then they'll turn around and sell you protection for the very thing they should have been protected. They be doing people in the credit matrix, in the debt matrix, so bad and dirty, and the sheep will just follow. Oh, I better get protection, identity theft and this and that. Oh, okay, whatever. Okay, we're gonna wrap this up in 4 minutes. It's been 3 hours. You guys know how much I love this, but I probably end up taking a couple of days off here. So you guys are not gonna probably hear from me until Saturday, probably. Depends on how I feel, but because I got to take care of some things outside of this, just talking to you guys every single day. But you high school kids that are listening to me, I'm gonna tell you something, okay? You high school, you teenagers, I'm gonna promise you something right here. I'm here to create the next generation of millionaires. I'm here to help you become millionaires. I'm here to show you that it's not your parents' fault that you don't have the money that you know you it's not your parents' fault that say money don't grow on trees, money's scarce, all this other stuff. Those are all myths. That's not None of that is real. None of that is real. There's plenty of money. Money does grow on trees. It comes from wood. They can print as much money as they wish, so it's infinite, it's limitless. Okay. Don't believe in any of that. Okay. Life is not hard. You don't need a college education to be something. None of that is true. So don't go off to college because your parents are forcing you to do it and you don't even know what you're going to do and they're not paying it either. They're just saying you need to go to college and get in student loan debt. That's not true. That No, you don't. You don't have to do any of that. You want to become a millionaire. This is the steps. Do the exact opposite of the majority. This is all you got to do. Google student loan debt. Do the opposite. Google car loan debt. Do the opposite. Google credit card debt. Do the opposite. Do the opposite of everything everybody does that the majority does. Do the opposite of the majority, and you will become a millionaire in your 20s. Taxes are not evil. The banks are not evil. Rich people are not evil. No, they just know something that the people in debt matrix don't. The only difference between the rich and the rich believe in mathematics. People in debt do not. That's the only difference. There's only two classes. People in debt and people not in debt. There's only two classes. As you get older, you got to remember too, first class, middle class, upper class, those classes don't exist. That's a myth. That's invisible. That's just people. That's classes are things that people in debt come up with. They just believe that. So if somebody's making $200,000 a year, they consider that person upper middle class, whatever that stupid nonsense is. But if they're 400, $500,000 in debt, they're in debt. They're in a debt class. Continue believing in mathematics. You'll be rich. I'm here for you. I'm here for anybody, really, but the majority of the young minds, you guys understand that mathematics is the key. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. That is it for me today. Thank you for all your help. Much appreciated. I will see you guys in a couple of days. All right. Have a good one.